This episode contains content that may be disturbing or sensitive to listeners. Discretion is advised.
These are the chat rules. This stream is not for children, 18 plus only. Keep chat friendly and respectful. No profanity in chat. This includes your username. Please dress up your curse words. Be polite to other chatters, mods, and channel owners. Please be polite to the panel guest. Stay on topic. Bullying is not allowed in the chat. No doxing, harassment, false accusations, or hate speech allowed. This may warrant an automatic ban. This is not a dating site or a drama channel. Remember to guard personal information. This is a public chat. Ignore the trolls and troublemakers. The moderators in chat have explicit instructions about how to handle issues in the chat. No advertising, spam, or request for views, likes, follows, subscriptions, donations, spamming, scamming, etc. Please respect my rules and guidelines laid out for this live stream. First offense, your comment will be deleted and you will be given a warning. Second offense, you will be given a warning and you will be timed out for 5 minutes. Your comment will be deleted. Third offense, you'll be banned from chatting in this live stream. By adhering to the guidelines, you can make this live stream chat a safe and friendly environment to talk about this case. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Hello, everyone. My name is Dutchess, and this is where we talk about missing cases and true crime. And tonight, AJ gave me a call and let me know that she had some information that she wanted to talk to us about. And I say us because I've not been around much the last couple of days. I've had some things that I've been dealing with here at the house, doing projects and getting some things taken care of. So I appreciate you guys joining me for this impromptu live tonight. We're going to be talking about some things that's been happening in Tyler Doyle's case. There's been some things that's happening in the Facebook groups and information that's really got AJ upset. And she wants to share this information. She wants everyone to hear this information. So I told her that I would be happy to go ahead. And so we're not going to be here for a really long time. This is not going to be our usual live stream update. So please give a warm welcome to AJ. Thank you so much for being here to walk us through all the things that has taken place.
Thank you, Dutchess, and thank you for scheduling this. I know it was really short notice.
Yeah, it's
just
no problem.
A lot going on.
Well, take me back. What has actually transpired over the last few days that you want to talk about that's been happening? Is this something that's been going on in the Facebook group? Has there been information that has been coming out or uncovered?
I think as far as the information that directly deals with the case, I think the only thing that really is still shocking to me is the fact that, I mean, you can walk from TJ Brown's house to Miss Linda's beauty salon, which is Tyler lived right behind there. And
yes.
I never knew. Did you know this?
Yes, I did. I had looked it up not too long ago, actually, because someone actually told me that he did not live far from where the Doyles reside. And so I checked it out, and it turns out that you can literally walk from his house to their house. Yes.
I mean, if you're standing on his roof, you could probably see that cell phone tower in their backyard. It's literally 2 miles. It's that close. And there's a picture of his boat in the front yard. That just kind of blew my mind. But the thing that happened that's really got me going happened just today. I just found out today.
Okay. Well, walk us through it.
I don't know. For me, I'm just the type of mom that if my son was to see somebody else's child, nephew, cousin, I don't care who it was to them, but would be the last one to see that person breathing, alive, talking, speaking, he wouldn't have a chance to say no, that he's not going to get on that phone. But now let me tell y'all all this. How about the fact that his parents have been in my damn group since September 9th? Yeah, you heard that correctly. Christian Holden's parents have been members of the Discovering the Truth About Tyler Doyle group since September 9th.
Wow. How did we miss this?
I don't even, I can't even begin to describe. I don't know. It's probably going to be, well, it is going to be my fault more than anybody's, because I decided that anything that happened in previous groups, there was a bunch of drama when all this first started. It's why I left the big debunk group. There's just a whole bunch of mess. So I didn't want to keep and continue blocking people just because, they used to be in that group or something like that. I just felt that, because that's what I had told the mods and the admins to do at first. And I just felt that, look at me and you. We didn't start out on the best terms and we worked perfect together. You
True.
never know what information somebody's going to have. So I told them to lower the restrictions. And I guess the names just didn't get caught. No, they're in there under Holden's name. There's a picture on the Facebook profile picture that they use is the parents and including Christian Holden.
Stop it.
I promise you. I promise you. Just type in the last name Holden.
So are they still in the group?
Yeah. I just found this out today. I just literally that's why I asked you to do live. I just found this out. So all of these questions that we've had, I just made statements. If Christian Holden would simply give Ronnie Floyd the signed permission form so he didn't have to go through a subpoena, anything to make the steps easier, give his real phone bill, a lot of questions could prevent the hell that this family is going through right now. And you think that they've had that happen? Obviously not. They haven't even spoke.
Wow. Of all the things that I thought I was going to hear today, I really didn't expect to hear this. But if they've been in the group, then they know that really all we want is we just want to hear Christian side of it. We don't want anything bad to happen to Christian. We just want him to come forward and just say whatever it is. And we want to see the real phone records.
And with that said, please don't go back to the group and start attacking or anything like that, because I will ban any group member that does that. We're not going to do that. It's okay to and ask questions, but don't go on attack, start threatening nobody or nothing like that. We're not doing all that.
Yeah, we're not here for that. We're not here to
that's not going to
try
help
to
nobody.
Silence people or tell people they can't have their own opinion about something. But we want to make sure that we're bringing the facts, and the family just wants to hear the truth. And even if he just says it to the family and he speaks to Shay and Brian and Miss Linda in private, you know what? I'll be satisfied with that. I don't have to see it. I don't have to be present for it, but I do want to know that he would be willing to have that conversation with the family. Yes, and read, Catherine, of course, with all of the family. Because that's really what we're here for. We're here to fight for the truth and the answers. And if there's nothing to hide.
And that's exactly it. And it's what bothers me is I don't think they understand. I have never heard, I can't speak for the rest of the family members, but for Shay particularly, the times that I have spoke with her, I have never heard her say anything other than she wants to know what happened. There ain't but one person that can really tell that. And I'm sorry, you guys, but all of this saying that the CAD, because I've seen people mentioning it again today, the CAD report's off. No, it's not. We've proven that because Shay called 911 too. She has shown her phone bill, and her phone call shows the exact time that the CAD report shows. I think it was like, what, a minute?
It was 1 minute off. The CAD report was 1 minute off.
So again, that only leads to you don't hide and cover up things that you don't think are wrong. Now, what Christian did wrong, I don't know if he did anything wrong. Maybe he just wanted, since the time was lowered down 5 minutes, maybe he wanted to disguise the fact that he waited 13 minutes to call 911. Maybe that's what he's trying to cover up, but that's not helping him either.
I just think transparency is best. And if there's something that you need to say, I feel like if you just explained yourself to the family, we could put a lot of this stuff to rest. And that's really what this family wants to have happen. Christine, I have not been ever made aware that Christian Holden's parents have tried in any way to reach out to Tyler's family. So,
I can tell you what happened. A family member did try to call Christian, and in fact, the very next day,
Yes,
when
that's
of all
right.
this happening. And they were basically told in not so many words that he wasn't effing talking to anybody. Now
Yeah,
that couldn't be me. I'd be dragging my son by his ear. He'd get
yeah,
on that phone.
and they just wanted to get the information exactly where Tyler's boat went down, what the logistics of that area was, so that they could focus their search in on that area. And that was all they wanted. It wasn't about asking questions about what happened or anything. They were just wanting to talk to Christian so they could nail down the exact locations, the last place that he thought he saw Tyler, just information like that. So the people out there searching could be more effective in trying to find him because time was critical. And the father was not going to allow that happen. He was very rude.
Yep.
Um, it's
And
not a
I
good
just
thing.
wonder if they've ever stopped and thought about the fact, like, what if the roles had been reversed? What if it
Yeah.
was them wanting to know where Christian went down at? I mean, you guys, that one thing right there, his attitude towards Shay the night at the landing, from my understanding, was not helpful at all. Compiled with the phone records, the fact that Ronnie Floyd even allowed screenshots to be sent to him and was notified that the records, we talked about this on the last live, I showed you the email. He
Mhm.
knew those records weren't correct. He could have stopped so much heartache. And I mean, not to say that it would not still hurt, because that's obvious. But a lot of stuff could have been prevented. All of this talk about you want the rumors and the internet sleuths and all that to stop. He had the ability to do that. And now the parents are in the group and they have the ability to do that. And they're not doing it.
I think Arctic Fox pretty much nailed it right here. Innocent
There you
people are
go. That's it
transparent.
right there. Perfectly
So
said.
it really is just about transparency. This family needs peace of mind. They just want to know and understand exactly what transpired that day, and what better person to tell them how everything went down would be Christian Holden sitting down with them and just walking them through that. As much as maybe he feels like he doesn't owe them an explanation, they want an explanation. They want to understand it so that they can process all of the information and be able to have some type of closure. Although they'll never have closure, they'll never have real closure because Tyler hasn't been found. But they need to be able to walk it back in their mind and have some type of understanding, because every time I hear Shay and Miss Linda cry about they can't imagine him out there screaming or suffering or hurting, it just devastates them, guys.
No, let's talk about that. Because I have the recording on my website. And it is specifically Miss Linda, you hear her voice start to crack and she breaks. And do you know what she's asking when that happens? She's asking Ronnie Floyd to please get the real phone records. And while we're on this subject, because I'm really getting irritated the more I think about it, if Christian Holden thinks that it's going to go past the year to where the records can't be got, I got news for him. I done put a stop to that. It's called a civil demand. Those records will be held with intent of lawsuit. So that's already been served on AT&T. You don't have to have the lawsuit filed before you do that. And I made sure that happens. So they're not going to go away because records go away past the year with AT&T. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
not going to happen for him.
Well, Miranda, we don't know. They could be watching every one of my lives. I encourage all people, and as a mother myself of a son, if my son had been hunting with one of his friends, his buddies, and something happened and he wasn't responsible and there wasn't anything that he could actually do about it, I would want my son to speak to that family and just do whatever he could to help them to understand exactly everything that he knew. I mean, I understand wanting to protect your child. I don't understand protecting your child to allow something to happen to somebody else and not give those answers. What if the roles were reversed and
But
someone had to call his Christian Holden's father to say, "Hey, we need your help because my son's in the water and we need to know this, this, and this." I'm sure that his father would be so broken if that were the situation with him. But see, people don't always react the way you think they're going to react because they're not putting themselves in their shoes.
I'm sorry, Duchess. I can't really fathom that, because to
I know.
let Christian Holden tell it, it was all a tragic accident. So what exactly are you protecting him from?
I agree. I can't disagree with that at all. That's why I tried to encourage. I even reached out to Christian and just, I even told him, if you ever feel like you want to make a statement, I'm not going to treat you unkind. I'm not going to judge you. I think the family just wants to speak to you and they just want to ask you some questions. And really, that's all they've ever wanted. But all of this other extra stuff is just way too much. I don't
You're
understand. I
telling
just think
me.
speaking on this would help solve so many issues. It would help to clarify so much information. And, I would want to definitely ask him why the phone records were altered and sent to Ronnie Floyd. Because, my other question was, why did you use these altered phone records and consider them something official? He didn't even notice that the time was changed from 4:51 to 4:56.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. So I finished up just today, actually, a report to submit to the oversight committee, and something kind of popped in my head. So I'm gonna read this real quick, Duchess.
Okay.
Somebody, maybe y'all can help me understand this, because if you go back and you read what Ronnie Floyd says, he says that he names the different pieces of information basically that led him to the conclusion that no foul play was happening. So now here's my question. If the Life 360, and this is what I put in the report, the inconsistencies when compared to the data obtained from the Life 360 that show where he pinged at, that show the side of the jetty that he was really on, does not coincide with the boat report where Ronnie Floyd drew him on the other side of the jetty, and it doesn't coincide with what Christian Holden stated to the 911 operator. But yet, later on in his report, he refers back to the Life 360 app. How can you have two pieces of data that contradict each other and use them to come to the same conclusion of no foul play? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
How does that work?
Absolutely.
They don't match.
I know. Unless they've obtained a lawyer.
Yeah, well, then the lawyer should have been done, put a release out there.
Mm-hmm. Arctic Fox says, either way, guilty or innocent, he needs to tell what he knows. Tyler and his family deserve that much. I think if you call yourself somebody's friend, I
think
just
if
feel
that's a
like
friend, I don't want to
that's
be
doing the right thing. The thing,
right.
is to come forward and just say, listen, I'm sorry about what happened, but this is what happened. And then that's what they want to know. They want to know that this is not something that you've just gone on about your life and that you're not even thinking about what happened, because they certainly are, and they're never going to forget this. So, thank you, Margaret. I appreciate that. And you're right,
I
Adrian.
do too. Yep. And let me tell y'all something. Karma is the living devil's sister.
It is.
Oh, wait a minute. There's another member in the group as well. Oh, goodness. Please enlighten me, HR 7562, because I'm not sure how much more I can take.
That's right, Julian. Exactly. And we're just here to find the truth. We're not here to ask people to go real life on others or to, harass people, dox people, be mean to people, fight with people because they don't agree with you. Sometimes it would be an echo chamber if we all agreed about every single thing. Everybody has an opinion about what this looks like when they construct this scenario in their mind. And that's why getting through the facts, having the website at cleartruth.com and breaking down all of the information about how this case has been mishandled by DNR and taking a look at all of the documents really helps people to see how we are approaching this from a factual standpoint and where our basis lies in that. We're not just throwing out information that can't be backed up with FOIA documents provided by the state of South Carolina. Now, are they in the group under their real names? I'm just curious.
It's somebody posted it a minute ago. It's Stan and Nick, or Susan and Nick, but their last name is on it.
What?
I'm so confused. There's just too many points that doesn't make sense. I mean, there is a picture I've seen me personally seen it with my own eyes of Todd Brown's boat. If in fact his statement is true, and if you really, there you go, Shayla, Nick and Sonny.
Thanks for being here.
If in fact his statement is even true, Todd Brown says that he was at the jetty within 13 minutes. He also says that he called Christian 6 times and the call didn't go answered, but I don't see anything like that on Christian's phone bill. However, I don't know if they have the same service, because if it doesn't show call waiting unless that person answered. So I can't really say on that. But what I can tell you is if he lives right by Tyler, and we know even from the Life 360, or just anybody that lives right there, Dutchess, how long it takes to get to the jetty. So what, was this boy just riding around in his boat already? Because you're not getting to that jetty in 13 minutes.
You're definitely not getting to the jetty in 13 minutes. From my boat landing, you're not.
Holden get rescued off the jetty. That means you were already in that water, because you can't see the jetty from that landing. And then he says he followed them back to Windjammer. That means you were in a boat. So why didn't you go look for Tyler?
That's a very good question. I think another part that I didn't understand was I heard that TJ Brown came out there and got his gun. Was that from the jetty? Because if you were at the jetty, why didn't you just get Christian?
Because if you remember, that is exactly what he told the Good Samaritan boat, that he was waiting for his friend. That's in the statement from the Good Samaritan boat, Barry Hayes, that he said he's waiting for his friend. I mean, how would that guy just know that? See, somebody else asked me about that today. I don't remember reading that he told 88 that he didn't know if he had one. I mean, it could be there and I'm just not remember. I know that one of the people said, what was he wearing? And Christian told the guy the same. And the guy even said he specifically asked him about the waiters. I remember that part, but I don't remember him saying that he didn't know if Tyler had a life vest on, because he told 911 that he said, yeah, he put it on. He didn't just say yes or no to that question. He said, yes, he put it on.
Absolutely. So, I mean, how do you just forget that you've told 911 that he has his life vest on? I mean, either he did or he didn't. Now is not a time to guess if you think he put it on, because either you saw him put it on or you didn't. And this is the same person who says that he lost sight of Tyler as he was going out through the jetty, which is why I want to get back out there. It's kind of really been cool here lately. And we have not had a chance to get back out there. The waters have been kind of rough. And then this morning there was a car at 8:14 in the morning that apparently went into the waterway at my boat landing. I heard the fire engines and all that, and I thought, what in the world is happening? I looked out there, and it was almost like a flashback for me to see all those people out there at the boat landing.
Nicole says,
And I thought, oh my gosh, what is happening? So I went out there, and it was Horry County Fire and Rescue and their dive team, and they had to, this car that didn't have anybody in it was a Hummer, and it just was 40 feet away from shore, and they had to, dive team had to hook it up, and they had to tow it back in and open the doors. I mean, that thing it was terrible, y'all. I'm like, what is happening at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Monday that somebody lets their Hummer coast right into the waterway?
Wait, it didn't have nobody in it, so did they jump out?
I don't know. I have not heard the update on that, so
I'd be more
that's
mad
how
that
my
my
Monday
Hummer
started, y'all.
didn't.
It's
I don't
been
think
wild
I'd
and
be looking
crazy.
at my Hummer.
Yeah, everyone does show their true colors eventually, Don. HR 7562. Just wanted to make you aware, name starts with a D. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but that guy right there, I think Shay
Oh
told
yeah,
him all about
I
her
went
stuff.
off. I went off on him last night too.
People come over there and say the craziest things in Facebook groups, don't they?
They do. And you know what? Sometimes, you guys, I do. I'll be the first to admit, I let my emotions get away with me, because I hear, it seems like every day something happens, and it reminds me of Miss Linda breaking down the way that she did. And to me, that is just heartbreaking.
Yes.
I can't even fathom it. So sometimes I do. I let my emotions get away with me, and you're going to hear me curse, and you're going to hear me go off. But there's a reason. And some people might think that it's overboard, but that's just me. That's just who I am. It's how I do things. I try to keep it pretty clean here because this is Dutchess's channel, and I would never want to do anything to bring any disrespect to her or her channel. But in the group, that's fair game. So if you hear me go off, I promise you there's a reason.
Well, there you go. Adrian, the DNR is the lead investigator of this case still currently. And we do have a phone recording, which is on the website, which is cleartruth.com. Let me see if I can put that in the chat. Let me go on my phone and I'll share that link. I think I've got it. You can go to that website and listen to a phone call between Ronnie Floyd and Linda Doyle, which is Tyler's grandmother. And you can hear him say that he is not going to turn this case over to anybody. And so he is law enforcement in this situation. And he told the family 3 weeks after Tyler went missing that even though Tyler has not been found, that he's deceased and that the family needs to go to church and get over it.
Oh, let's not
So
forget that he was in heaven holding the baby.
Yes, and he's also, Kevin said that he was in heaven holding the baby that Lakeland miscarried before this baby that was 8 weeks. And Tyler is there holding that fetus. That is the most. Listen, y'all, that gets me messed up. It makes my blood pressure go up, and I mean no disrespect to Lakeland. Okay, when I say this, because that is straight out of the South Carolina DNR's mouth to the family's ears. Okay. So these are not my
I
words,
don't
and
think
these
her
are I
baby or
would
her
never say that
situation.
to anybody.
Yeah,
That is
that I don't even
disgusting.
think that they have the right to mention that lady's baby or anything about it. That's not okay.
Exactly, Adrian. This is what we're dealing with. Well, Ronnie Floyd, we got Ronnie Floyd, we got Ronnie Lawson in Summer Wells' case. It's the case of the Ronnies, where these people, I just don't know what these people are doing, but this has got to stop.
But that leads me to another point. Somebody said in the group today, and this ticked me off too, and they might have not even meant it this way, but I just don't think that it has any bearing. To sit there and say that the family can use their money to push to get answers, let me break this down to y'all. It is not that simple, because before you first of all, you can't sue LE for their decision on a case. The only thing you can do is get the case bumped up through the chain of command if you can get their attention enough to do it. And then if by some chance somebody says that it was not investigated properly, then you would have grounds to file a lawsuit. But you can't just file a lawsuit because you don't agree with somebody's determination on a case. There's not even a law to file it under.
Yeah, protocols.
Yeah, so
Gotta
to say
follow
that they could
protocol.
use their money, that is just insane to me. And do not come threatening me talking about when I tell you that after you done posted that. Don't come to me talking about if I better hush because I know who your family is, because I don't give a damn. I'm gonna tell it like it is. And to bring up their money is none of nobody's business because it has no bearing in this case.
I think that's an interesting point, Dawn and Crystal. That you think TJ has something to do with that person in camo that is just out there in the dark at 7 o'clock when it's 40 degrees, hunting shells, wearing camo by himself, 2 mile walk down to where the jetties is, no houses, no nothing, out there by themselves. That doesn't even make sense. All while Tyler is going down in the ocean. And you mean that this person is just so that means that this person had to have heard Tyler screaming, had to have known that something was out there happening. You can't just be out there with nobody else. You got Christian standing on the rocks. You know he had to be yelling. This person would have clearly known that there was something happening at the jetty. They would have not just been like, oh, well, let me just keep looking for my shells in the dark, wearing my camo like I'm. No, that sounds like bullshit to me. I'm just going to
That's
say
exactly
it.
what it
That's
is.
my opinion, but none of that makes any sense. And the fact is that whatever boat saw this guy, they did not have anybody to speak to them. They did not get an identification. I want to know if they've got a description, and I plan on having Shay to reach out to them to find out if they can tell us anything about this person, and I will let you know as soon as I find out any information.
And in case people are unclear, let me see if this puts clarity.
Is this true, by the way? Because Shelly Seashell, hey, Shelly, Dalton Hardy is
Oh
in the group
gosh.
as well.
Oh gosh.
I,
I
I
hope
saw
not, because I
I
don't
saw
need
that
to have
earlier.
another heart attack.
I just had to ask. So thank you, Shelly, for and thank you all for. I mean, I see some great comments in here. Arctic Fox, yeah, glad it wasn't me. He said it too. I'd need bail money, and he'd need an ambulance. Ciao.
I love that.
Well, yeah, I mean, he can say he's not turning it over, but listen, we even talked to SLED. I reached out, found the SLED information. Shay called them 2 or 3 times, and basically they said there's nothing we can do. They have to release the case to us, or like AJ just said, it has to go before a magistrate that finds that this case has not been investigated properly, or that it's been mishandled, that something has occurred where justice was not served in this situation, and therefore the investigation is reopened and handed over to another investigative agency. So that is how SLED gets brought on. They have to find a just cause, and you can't just ask for another law enforcement agency to cover it. That's not how it works,
And it's
unfortunately.
weird because I'm getting conflicting stories because from my understanding, reading the documents that I came across, they're saying that it's actually SLED is not over SCDNR. SCDNR is actually over SLED. And that blows my mind because I was under the impression that SLED was over all the investigating agencies.
I think they hold too much power, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
and I think there's a lot of great people that work for the DNR that do wonderful things. I just don't think the DNR needs to cover missing persons cases. That's basically, that's just my personal opinion.
I know that
I
they're
just
not
don't think they're
required.
trained to do that.
Mhm,
If they had
exactly.
the training to do so, I don't think I would have as much problem with it. But the way that I see these cases getting handled when it's a DNR case, I don't see it being handled the way that law enforcement would handle it. And there's just a lot of inappropriate things going on. The way they communicate with the family, the way they wouldn't let Danny Jewel drag the waterway in order to try to bring Tyler home immediately, even if he was deceased, to the family. They wouldn't allow that, and even threatened Danny Jewel's fishing business and to take his license away from him. I mean, I just feel like there's just a little bit of abuse of power, in my personal opinion, and it bothers me because I pay taxes in this state, and I'm going to speak my mind on it.
Yeah,
And
I
I
spoke
just don't
on that
think it's
last
right.
night, Dutchess. Because here's my thing: there ain't but one reason why they wouldn't let him drag that water that I can think of, and maybe somebody else can give me another one. But because they wanted to give time in between, because is it not true? Didn't they call that man later on down the road and say that he could do it? So what changed all of a sudden, other than time that passed?
I don't know. Yeah, Adrian, we are writing letters for sure. Writing letters, making phone calls. We have a lot of things in the work, and
I'll have one posted to the to Clear Truth tonight. It is a copy of what is being sent to the oversight committee.
that's going to be excellent, guys. I'm going to go over here and grab this mod link. Let me get over here to my where I've got all my little things. I want to get this link for you for this group, and also for cleartruth.com so that you can go over there. This is the official website, which is for Tyler Doyle, the Family's Fight for Justice. And it's a great place to follow along and learn how South Carolina and the lead detective, Ronnie Floyd, failed Tyler Doyle's case. And that's why we're seeking justice for Tyler. So this family can get answers. So I'm going to share that link in the chat now. And again, this is a website, and she updates this all the time. So please go over there and check that out. They're saying they do see that Dalton is in the group, and you see that he posted stuff about the search for Tyler. Very interesting. Alpaca May said, yes, I saw that about the shrimp captain today also. Blamed him for the dragnet not happening. Yeah, well,
Wait, what?
he wanted, he finally decided, I guess, that they were going to let Danny Jewel drag his net, but that was like weeks later. And he said, I
There
won't
wouldn't
do
be
it.
anything left. What is he
Exactly.
going to
He
drag it
wasn't
for?
gonna do that, and I respect that. I have to
I do
respect
too.
that. So,
But you know what, Duchess? I'm about to throw a curveball in all this because I just thought of something.
Yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and I hope you don't get upset with me, but I want to know where the hell the damn 3D picture is that Wings of Hope showed Shay about with this guy leaning against the boat showing his pant legs, and now he's saying he don't want to give the picture up because it's a part of evidence. Well, that's a damn lie because it would have been included in the FOIA. So somebody want to explain that one to me?
Ooh wee.
Sorry.
Ooh wee.
Yeah, I just
Ooh-wee.
felt the need to do that because that's crazy.
Okay, so let's walk it back for anybody who may not know about this, because there's just some things that we really hadn't spoken too much on, but
I'm sorry, Dutchess.
no, it's okay. Um Wings of Hope, as you guys know, had dogs. They had human cadaver dogs out here, and on that search, the dogs actually hit where Tyler's boat went down. Okay, and right where Tyler's boat went down, there is actually a shrimp boat that is wrecked at the bottom of the ocean, right off the tip of where the jetty, when you go out into the ocean. And the dogs hit there from the boat, and they also hit right by the jetty rocks, and they wanted to dive on it. And I was told that South Carolina DNR was not going to let anybody dive that day because the water was too rough, and that DNR would not allow them to dive. Now, I know Chaos Divers was out here about that time, and we appreciate them so very much, but they were having a lot of difficulty getting out there because it was so rough. There was a lot of swells, and if you're not careful, it'll run your boat right into those jetty rocks, especially if you're lingering around those jetty rocks. So they were only here for just a few days, and then they actually went and covered another case. It went to work on another case, thinking the water was going to calm down and that they would come back. Well, about 3 days after supposedly they were told they were not allowed to search, I was then told that the divers went down at the spot where the dogs hit, because there was a 3D sonar picture taken, and it looked like a person's body that was sitting on the bottom of the ocean floor, I guess. And it really upsets me. And apparently this picture, you could actually see that it looked like this person had, you could see the legs, and it didn't look like they had feet. But they had on long pants, and it looked like they had on a long shirt. I just don't I just find this really difficult for me to get in my head, because when this all transpired, guys, this picture was not shown to the family. I just wanna make that very clear. Um, they were told the dogs hit, they were gonna dive on it. Ronnie Floyd said they couldn't dive, and then when they did dive, Ronnie Floyd said, "Well, there was nothing down there." And that was it. So, later on, when Wings of Hope was pulling out after all of that happened, hang on a second. Chase texted me. They were going to leave, and right before he left, she told me that Brad came to her and said that he had something he wanted to show her. And he waited until they were leaving town, y'all. And I've never spoke about this, and I just want to tell you guys this because I think you should know about it, because it doesn't add up to me. And I would like for Brad to come forward with Wings of Hope and speak to us about that, to speak to me about it. Because I've met him in person, like my husband gave him money. A lot of people did. And to know that just weeks before he had this picture and he never showed it to the family until he's about to leave made me very angry.
Me too. And then he said that he could not send them the picture when it was requested because it was a part of police evidence. Well, I want to know where that police evidence comes in at, because if it was a part of police evidence, then the police would have a copy of it. And if they didn't include that in the FOIA, then they're about to have a whole nother problem on their hands.
They don't have that picture. And he wouldn't give it to Shay. She did ask him for a copy of it. And she almost had a meltdown. Y'all, she almost had a meltdown. She had to get in her car when he showed her that. And he was leaving like an hour later. And he also showed Miss Linda and her Aunt Ann. So this isn't just like he just showed her.
Wait, he showed Miss Linda?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
Aunt Ann.
Oh my.
And I'm going to tell you what, that right there, something is not right about that. Like, if you've got that picture, I want it. I want to see it. I want you to turn it over to the family immediately, because this man made thousands of dollars for coming to help this family, and he gives them a picture 1 hour before he leaves and then says, "I can't give you a copy of it." What? I'm sorry. Excuse me? This is why we call this discovering the truth. Because the truth matters. And Brad, I need you to walk this back for me and explain this to me, because I'm having a very difficult time understanding this and understanding why you would tell Shay, Linda, and Miss Ann that you couldn't give them a copy of this picture because it was part of a police investigation that you and I both know that Ronnie Floyd ain't got this damn picture. Tamara, the math ain't mathin'.
I know that's right.
Or the
I'm glad
meth
you
ain't
said
methin'.
it.
I don't know which it is, but y'all need to cut this out. Quit playing games. Quit playing games with this family.
I know that's right.
And see,
And again,
something else
Dutchess,
she
I'm
just
sorry.
reminded
I
me of.
shouldn't have just put that out on blast on your channel like that. I apologize.
No, no apology needed, because it was something that needed to be said, and Shay and I've talked about it, and there's no better time than the present. I just was really hoping that Brad was going to come forward and speak to me on my channel, because I wanted to ask him directly to his face about it. But he says that he's busy and he hasn't had time, or whatever the reasons are, that he hasn't been able to get back with Shay, or I don't know what his personal situation is. But Brad, if you're listening to this live stream, reach out
Oh, if
and
he
hit
ain't
me up.
listening, I'm gonna email him the link. Don't worry.
But Shay just reminded me. She said, "Remember, they were going to hook," quote, but in quotes, because that's what they told us. They were going to hook what they thought was Tyler, but Tyler was not down there. And by the way, she said, "This is perfect. Let's just get everything out there, because y'all need to hear it." Like, when things started happening, that's why I encouraged Shay. I said, "Listen, if you ever need a place to just tell people what you're thinking, You need to just let people know what's going on. That's why this platform is for families of the missing, because the families have the right to speak. Because it's their family. Y'all, my baby's over here crying. She wants to come back in. Y'all digest on that for a minute. AJ, talk to us for a minute. I'll be right back.
I'm trying to keep your channel clean because the whole situation just oh my gosh. Can y'all just stop for 1 second and think about, I'm sure if not over half, at least most of you here are parents. Just think about that being the last image that you see, and then you still have no answers. Then you have the last person to see him ducking and diving. I mean, Christian Holden sat behind this family at the racetrack, the one where they held the race in honor of Tyler. He sat right behind them and didn't even look their way. I can't understand that. And for his parents, do the right thing. Because your children and how they act, for the most part, can be made to be a reflection of yourself and how you are as a parent. I get that when kids get grown, you do the best that you can raise, but children learn what they live. Make your son stand up. If he don't want to speak to the family, make him write a statement, put it in the paper. Who cares? Make him do something. Don't leave these people lingering like this, because it's just not right. What goes around comes around, and karma is the devil's sister, and you never know when it might be somebody in your family next. What do you mean, what if it isn't Christian's call? What if his dad's forced? Well, then that tells you what type of dad he is. That's all I can say.
I mean, that's, who knows? Was that around February the 15th? Shay could probably give me the specific date of when all that happened, because they were here through the time of the vigil. At the time when I remember the day. I remember the day that they said that they got a hit and they were going to dive on it. I was so nervous. And they were like, oh, they're not going to let us dive. If you're a voluntary person out there, I just don't understand. See, if it were me, I'd be like, I'm going in this water. I'm going in this water. I'm going to get these answers today. We don't have time to wait. We're getting these answers today. And that's what we're going to do. So that's what seems weird to me. How is the DNR going to force you to not dive?
That was what I was going to ask you. Is there some type of because I know back home where I'm from, there is a posted thing that there's certain times you can't be in the water. Is that the same way? Or is if you just wanted to go swimming that night, could you have just went swimming, or did you have to get DNR's permission?
Precisely. Yes, Wings of Hope was supposed to hook. That's what they told Shay. That was the precise word they used. That they were going to have to hook on to what they thought was Tyler, but it ended up being something on a boat. And that's because there is this shrimp boat that wrecked because it wrecked into the jetty rocks. That's how there's all these boats at the bottom of the ocean and in the waterway, is because they wreck on the rocks and they sink. And that's why there was a boat wreck right there underneath where Tyler's boat went down, right there next to it. And that's why I want to go back out there, because I want Cito to take us to that spot. If I have to go get my PADI license to get out there, whatever it takes, I'm gonna find the answers. I'm going to find the answers because I just want to know why this just doesn't see. It just doesn't add up for me. I just don't feel like this is how the normal thing goes. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, I agree where the wind blows. This has been quite an exciting few days. So I wonder exactly, you know, if Christian Holden's parents were listening right now, what would you say to them, AJ? They were listening to this live stream. They went back and was like, oh, well, I need to go listen to what they're saying, you know. Is there something you would want them to know?
This ain't going away. I don't care
Okay.
if I'm the last person left in that group. This is not going away. I won't let it go. And I'm pretty sure I can say with almost 99.999% Shay or her family wouldn't ever ask me to. Not until somebody answers something. If they want it to go away, then prove what their son's saying. Make their son stand up because that's a reflection of them. Do the right thing. It's called human decency.
Yes, Sherry. If the gun and waiters were indeed taken at Windjammer, that would absolutely be on land because that is the closest boat landing to the jetties when you're coming back in. I mean, there's a couple of docks that are private docks, but that's like the first boat landing. That's where the ambulance was at. So,
And the comment that Shay just made, I believe that with every part of my being, just from the stuff that I know about Tyler, I seriously believe that.
yes, Shay, I know. We love you, Shay. We're going to get answers.
One way or another.
And I know Tyler would be out there still looking for his friend. And if it was Tyler in that position, he would be more than happy to tell Mr. Holden whatever he needed to know, and he'd be out there helping him.
Yeah, the cloud's not going to go away. The cloud is going to remain on and if I got to dig in their closets, I can do that too.
That's right, Beulah. We need to hear from these people because we have some questions, and well, the family has questions, and that's why I've got questions because I need it to make sense, you know. Where the Wind Blows says DNR has priority over some land, and I'm not sure what it is. They can enter a home without a search warrant.
Interesting. They can?
I was not aware of that.
Me
So,
neither.
Where the Wind Blows, email me a link to show me where that is because I would like to know that. That is very interesting. Callie, I know, but you know, I don't know what we would exactly find right now. It would be good if we had some divers that could go out there that did recovery or something like that because it's, you know, there's been a lot of time that has elapsed since January the 26th. In fact, how many days has it been? How many days since January 26th of 2023? 235 days.
Oh my God.
235 days, guys. Has anyone searched on land between Tyler's house and the jetty? That's a very good question, Cindy Caton. Thank you so much. Cindy, I don't really know the answer to that, but I have a feeling that his family has definitely looked everywhere that they can think to search for him, which is why we have these billboards up. Now, I was told that Tyler's billboard is not showing in Conway, and I'm waiting to find out answers about what's going on with that. It says that it's active when I look it up on Blip. However, I need to find out if Shay got emailed a something that said that this billboard is personal, and therefore we can't put it up in that area. Because the Blip Billboard campaign is in her name, so she gets all the emails. It doesn't actually come to me. So I'm still checking on that, but according to what I have on here, it's showing me analytics like it's running. So I'm not able to see that it's not. It hasn't showed me that it's been dismissed, and it's running on the same time frames as the other 3 billboards. Nothing has changed. They're all running the same. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. I'm just waiting to find out. I'm probably going to have to call Blip tomorrow and see if I can get some answers about that, because that's why we have these billboards. That's why we have these flyers. So that if somebody does see something, if somebody has any information, if you have a tip, please don't hesitate. Please reach out, because all of these tips and the information go directly to the family. This is not sponsored by South Carolina DNR or law enforcement. This is sponsored by the family, because they are seeking answers. Nicole, I don't know if anyone's planning a protest.
Actually, I was going to come to the agenda meeting for SCDNR. I thought it was being held Monday, but apparently it is next month. And yeah, I do plan on being. I don't know about no protesting, but I'm going to be at that agenda meeting because it needs to be said. So let's say it in front of everybody, because that's where the board of directors, they're all there too at that time. So let's get it out there.
And I'm sure that they went through it. I feel sure they did. Now, I don't want to keep y'all all night, because like I said, this was an impromptu live stream, and I promised my hubby, the Duke, that we would watch his movie and have dinner
I
together.
appreciate you so much.
So I don't want to keep y'all too long, but there is one more interesting tidbit that I wanted to share with you before we. Are we still going to do our live stream on Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay, so we're still going to meet here on Wednesday. I'm working on getting that set up. I will have it public sometime later this evening, and so be sure, if your notifications aren't turned on, make sure they're turned on to all, so you can get that notification when I put it to public this evening for the live on Wednesday evening. It'll probably be around 8:30. And AJ and I will be back to talk to you about some more of this information. But I did have just one more little tidbit of information that I wanted to share with you.
Y'all hold on to your seat.
I hope y'all are sitting down.
Yeah. It really needs to be.
I received this piece of information. Let me go over here to my phone real quick. And if y'all have not liked this stream, please hit the like button. It helps Tyler Doyle's name get into the algorithm, so more people hear about his missing case and can learn exactly what's going on and have a complete understanding of what we're fighting for here. So please like this stream, share this stream out. Please join the Facebook group, and please check out thecleartruth.com, where we are fighting for Tyler Doyle's justice. One document at a time. So I really appreciate you guys doing that so very much. I'm going to get over here on my screen because I want to read this screenshot that I could only put up in half of its entirety, because it is the format that it was sent in is so long. You guys would never be able to read this. But I just, puppy, you got too much protein in your butt. Lord have mercy, Doberman. Y'all, she ate too much chicken and turkey tonight. All right, let's see. Let me get over here. Gotta find my little shot that I'm gonna put up here. This little piece, which if you're not zoomed in on your phone or whatever you're looking at, it's kind of hard to probably see it from unless you're like on your big screen TV, because sometimes I have to watch live streams from a big screen TV. This is a text message exchange.
Facebook message
that was retrieved from Tyler Doyle's Facebook. Is that correct?
Correct. See,
And I'm
you
going
have
to
to
read.
request the download, and that's just, it sends you one, like anybody can go under their Facebook and just request to download their information, and about a day and a half to 2 days later, it's going to send you one zip file, and it's going to show you everything that is there.
Yes, Kelly. She just ate her dinner that I just cooked her in the Instapot, and she is, bless it. Y'all bless the dog right now. She's over here looking at me with these angel eyes, though. She's so precious. It's life. It happens. Look at Crystal. I know it's hard to read, so I'm going to read the entirety of everything. In this text message exchange, guys, this message was it deleted?
She unsent her messages, but his were that you can't unsend his.
Yeah. Interesting. So this text message exchange goes something like this. January 17th of 2023, which, by the way, is the day before my birthday, at 6:09 p.m. and 38 seconds. Tyler Doyle says, "You don't know how to tell the truth. You're telling me the only reason you started talking to him is because I want to go to the GV."
I don't know what the GV means.
Like G as in go, V as in Victor. Now, I'm not sure exactly what GV stands for, but that is a very telling statement. You don't know how to tell the truth. You're telling me the only reason you started talking to him is because I want to go to the GV. You think I'm stupid? Who cares who is going to be there? You go cheat because I am going to a place where my ex will be. GV, I believe, is gender reveal.
That's what Shay just said.
Good timing. Good timing. Thank you, Shay. I told you to come with me. Do you think that sounds right? You worried about me cheating with Kelsey, so you go cheat, get your stuff, and get out. Don't be there when I get there.
Well, from what Shay just said, she are okay. I'm glad that because I didn't know what GV or none of that was. Well,
that makes sense.
It does now.
Aiden and Kelsey are brother and sister. Yeah, we talked about that, Shay. And Aiden's come to a couple of live streams, and I really appreciate him being here. And Kelsey's welcome to be here as well. We welcome everybody that's not here to, we don't want anybody here causing problems. We're here, we can all have different opinions, but we're not here to fight each other. We're here to get to the truth. So,
and this has no reflection of them either. Like this is nothing bad towards them. towards Aiden or Kelsey.
Yeah, Aiden is more like a brother to him. I met Aiden. Aiden got the tattoo on his arm, for Tyler. They're very close. And Aiden is a very good friend, and he would have done anything to bring Tyler home. So this right here tells me everything I need to know. Because Lakeland unsent her message January the 27th at 6:08 and 24 seconds p.m. And then Tyler's response back to her, whatever she said, Tyler says January 17th at 6:06 p.m. I don't care. You meant what you said, but I already knew. I just want you to get your shit and leave. Go stay with him. I have all the proof, Lake. You can take the car, but I want you to get out. If you're not going to tell me how long you've been talking to him, then leave. Hey, lovely Elizabeth, thank you. So, does anybody have any thoughts about this text message? That is what this clip that I'm showing on screen, it's so long, like if I put the whole thing up, like y'all definitely wouldn't be able to read it, but
Yeah, because that's links. If you like, those are clickable links that go to some ad thing, I guess, where she sent him messages saying that they get a code. If he clicks that link, it gives her money or something.
for Temu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what the Temu credit has to do with her leaving, but it's
I think
all
so.
very strange
Or
for that to even be a thing. So I just want to, I don't know, I need to go over here to my, let me go over here to my studio real quick. I just, I need to go look at something. I want to make a poll. What kind of poll should I have? Let me go over here to my live stream.
John Allen.
Let me look here.
I believe it was it doesn't say when she unsent the message. It just shows, I think that means the time of the message that she unsent. That's what I'm thinking.
Interesting. All right, so I've got to go. I have to open up my YouTube studio for some crazy reason in order to do this poll. So let me start this poll here.
Yeah, Christina, I could do that, but I'm not trying to go to jail, so that's probably not going to happen.
Wait a minute, what just happened? I moved my microphone. Hang on a second.
I'm actually texting Shay because I just noticed something.
Hmm.
Shay, I'd asked Shay before what was the day of the big argument where Tyler called her. And I just was looking on what she had sent me. Guess what date that it shows on her phone bill? The 17th. So that was the day of the big argument.
All right. Y'all go over there and take this poll for me. Well, I mean, he didn't see this. He didn't even know about this at the time. He probably still don't know about it. Hey, Ronnie Floyd, in case you're watching, to get all your information, you can feel free to cut us in on your check for us doing your job.
I like that.
I'll be looking for it in my mailbox out here. You know where I live, so ain't no secret.
Yeah, and I'm over the whole her age thing is a reason, because you know what? When you decide to get married, have a baby, and do all that, if you're an adult enough to sit there and do that, you're an adult enough to accept responsibility for the actions that you take. And again, I'm not saying Lake had anything to do with what happened with Tyler. I'm just saying that right there gives me a whole lot of pause.
Well, I mean, remember we discussed that you got to have evidence, but is it possible that, because I'm not really one to believe in coincidences. However, is it possible that you can have a really tragic event happen and that will just expose the truth, the hidden truth about people involved around that person? It is possible. It's entirely possible.
And as far as the Timu message, I'm looking at the messages that was sent on January 9th. So this conversation started with her through Facebook for whatever reason. That was January 17th.
Donna says, and what blows my mind the most is his friends knew about this and still stayed by her side even after she got with Dylan, after Tyler went missing. What kind of friends does he have?
I don't think it was Dylan that they were referring to, but I'm not going to speculate yet. There's still other stuff that I have to go through. This weekend, I was supposed to go through everything, you guys, and it just turned into a big mess because I just did not have time. I had to spend time with my nephew, and it was just, but I will get through it all.
Crystal, that's great right there. DNR is about as useless as a screen door on a submarine. It's mind blowing, really. It's mind blowing. Yes, Deanna. It always does. It always does. Yeah, that's true. I can't disagree with that. No, Maddie, we haven't found Tyler. But we're not giving up. Not giving up hope. Yes. Yes, it is strange that everywhere Shay and Marie and their boat went that day, even down to the time that they were going to turn around and go the opposite direction to go home, and that's when they found the waiters.
Yeah, I still
It's
can't
just all very
understand.
weird.
I think she's just some type of control freak as far as the stuff at the house, because she clearly said that if they called her and asked her for it, like, she has to be in control. And I don't think she understands that there is a whole army behind this family, and she is not going to have control of the outcome.
Let me go over here and look at this poll. 89% said, yep, I knew it. 4% said, nope, I didn't see this coming. And 7% says, I'm blown away. Very interesting. Still got votes coming in. I mean, how many people we got in here? We got 200 people watching. Now I've only got 102 votes. Y'all get your votes in. Get your votes in right now, because I need to know where we're standing on this. And Crystal, you ain't got to drop my Cash App, darling, because I'm not here for the money. Anything y'all do send me, I just put it towards flyers, billboards, whatever we're working on these cases. By the way, I had another live stream that I was going to do tomorrow or Thursday on a case, and that young lady was found, 38-year-old mom that was missing in Bessemer City, North Carolina, Erica Beaver. She was found safe this evening. The family reached out to me while I was live to let me know. So praise God for that.
Yeah.
Praise God for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so we give thanks for that, and we're just going to stay on our mission with what we're doing. If you have a case you want me to cover, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. If you need a flyer, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And we're just going to keep doing what we can do. I'm going to get some answers about the split billboard so we can figure out why they're not putting it up in Conway. We ran into that problem with Summer Wells billboard in Utah. They would not allow us to put the billboard up there because they do not allow personalized billboards, including missing person billboards. So we had to get rid of it because they wouldn't change their mind about it. So it is what it is.
Which is so sad, and that
You're
I
welcome.
don't understand that. If you're paying for the space, why does it matter?
Kathy, I don't know. Shay would have to answer that question. Was his wallet wet? The money looked dry. Shay, can you tell us about that? Donna. Thanks for being here, Donna. I appreciate you. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, So Sheepy. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Whit says, considering how defensive they got about the waiters when they were found, I suspected them. They weren't found where they said they were. Christian's aunt was really defensive on the comments. That's interesting.
The aunt found his waiters. It wasn't Christian's aunt, it was Tyler's aunt that found his waiters.
She said, yes, it was soaked. There's your answer. For anybody who's listening, and no matter what group you're in, there you go. The money was not dry. It was wet. It was soaked. The money was wet. Miranda, we're actually we're not collecting money for the billboards or anything. I've had a few people, send money that I've put towards things to help get the billboard going. If we decide to do anything like that, we'll let you know. And we're still working on the t-shirts. I'm just waiting for Shay to send me his little emblem, his 38 Junior, when she can email me that. So as soon as we get the t-shirts up and going, we'll let everybody know about that. Shay said, in a Velcro pouch soaked and taken by Jake, who I still stay in touch with to this day. He is over to North Carolina Wildlife in Brunswick County.
Christina, I wished. But yeah, it doesn't work that way. Cheating is not really a criminal thing to lock her
Shay,
up.
I might still have that video. Didn't we put that up on a video on my channel? It seems like the day that you were out on the boat.
You want me to email it to you? I have it right here.
Because I've got it in here somewhere in my stuff. Oh my gosh. And I told you I was going to clean my phone out. That never happened. 10,000 other things happened, and then I never got around to doing all that. So I still got all this stuff on my phone. So I've got to see if I can go over and find it. But I think we uploaded some stuff to a live stream one night too. Also, if you want to email it to me, you can, and then I can access it quickly.
Okay.
In South Carolina, adultery has costed a mom custody.
Ooh.
Does her cheating not show a motive? I mean, it could, but you got to have evidence too. Sometimes you can have things that are separate of each other,
Yeah, they're not going to take Facebook messages as evidence.
No. So we definitely would have to have more than that. But listen, was DNR even concerned or worried or thought there was even an issue? No. They never even questioned it. And when they were questioned and brought, this information by the family having concerns, they just brushed it under the rug and said, well, she's young and this and that. And I'm sorry, but I was married at 19. I had a child. I was in college and working third shift. I don't want to hear that mess. Well, they don't really suspect a hunting accident, Crystal. That's the problem. They don't suspect anything. They just want to say that he drowned and it's over with so that Ronnie Floyd can go retire, and that's it. That's why there's not an investigation really per se, which is not acceptable.
Yeah, I sent it, Dutchess.
Okay. Was there ever proof that the waiters did belong to Tyler 100%?
Per Tyler's Facebook, I'm going to tell y'all right now, that very morning he was looking to buy waiters. Per the messages of the marketplace on his Facebook, and I have shared this with Shay. She has seen it. He was looking to buy waiters, which blows my mind because supposedly his mom had bought him another pair the week prior. Why would you be looking to buy some January 26th in the morning?
Yeah, this is the one I was thinking about right here. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can get this to upload on my. I can play it from my email. Let me get it pulled up and I'll share my screen.
Well, Catherine, you might be right about that, but then that leaves the question. If we know he left one on the porch per the Ring video, if he didn't buy any, then where'd that other pair come from?
Oh, it won't convert for this file. Is yours on it's a MOV file. That's why I can't play it
right now.
I can't play it. Shay and I dealt with this a lot. We dealt with this a lot, and I don't know why it wants to do that, but
I can convert it right now.
it wants to be difficult, guys. I'm so very sorry. Please bear with me. Well, probably because it was in the water, Donna. It was exposed to the salt water, and that will cause things to rust very quickly when exposed to the salt. Thank you, Elizabeth. You are correct.
1 second, you guys. It just finished. Okay.
Thank you
I'm
for
gonna
doing
send it
that.
to you again.
Thank you so much for doing that. You're gonna have to teach me how to do all this stuff. I'm all the time learning stuff, guys. I don't have to do things like this. Hey, Ace123, thanks for joining us. Yeah, it is crazy. It really is. You don't always know everything there is to know right at the beginning of a case. And every situation, every case that we cover is different. And it's important to make sure that you look at everything when you're trying to help a family find answers, find their missing loved one, get the answers that they deserve.
I sent it, Dutchess.
I appreciate that, Maddie. Oh my goodness.
What happened?
Well, Whit was saying that there's a stealth fighter jet that was lost, apparently crashed near the Florence County line.
Some guy jumped out.
Well, I think they went hunting the day before too.
Yes,
Tyler
they
went
did.
hunting a few times that week already, so it could have been a duck that he had caught that he'd not done anything with. He might have thrown in the bucket because it was.
Was that a real duck? Are y'all talking about the ring video? Was it a real duck?
I'm sure it was.
Oh.
Because they're kind of limp.
Oh.
So I mean, to me that's what it looked like. All right, let me go over here and check my email. Why is it doing this to me?
What's it saying?
I don't know. It's saying that it's not going to let me convert it. I have to register for something called Cloud Convert.
What?
I don't understand why it's doing that. I think it's because I'm on a Windows laptop. It's just being difficult.
But I'm on Windows.
I don't know. It just says it can't preview the file. There was a problem playing this video. And when I try to download it, let's see if it's going to let me download it. Okay, what does that even mean? This file is in my drive. Okay, well, where is it? Show it to me. Okay, here we go. Let me see if this is going to do it, because right now it's doing something about something. I don't know what it's happening. All right. Let me share my screen. Let me get over here.
Okay, so I don't need to convert it again?
Nope. I got it.
Good.
All right. Now. Of course you can join. You are always welcome to come up here. Oh, she's got some other videos too, and I can upload these too. Hang on. I'm gonna send you the link, Shay. If you want to come up and join us, please do. Okay, so I'm gonna take this down and I'm gonna share my screen. And then if Shay comes up and she wants to share her screen to play what she's got, she's more than welcome to, always. All right, so let's take it back over here. Guys, go over and hit that like button if you're enjoying this stream. If you find this information helpful, we really appreciate it. So let's take a look here. Let me know that you guys can see this before I play it. Put a 1 in the chat for me. Okay, I'm gonna let you come up here. Hey, lady.
Hello.
I'm gonna play this video. No,
I'm in my bed. Look at my crazy hair.
Hi, Shay.
that's
Hello.
where I am too. All right, here we go.
He called today with the boat people. They knew for a fact that he had 3 life jackets, and in the boat there's still 2. So there's 1 life jacket missing.
Yeah.
So if he was smart enough to get the waders off, then he could have had it. And I mean, he could be out here floating somewhere.
He could be. And
Yeah,
Look how peaceful that water is.
that's the only way I could be out there. There was no other day I could go. Because if it was crazy like it was all the other days, I would have been throwing my guts up. And bet you can ask Ashley Hardy. He's a friend of ours. And he took us out to the jetties, me and my husband. And the jetties is not far from, to get to a boat landing. We got out there. I was so sick. After a few minutes, I was like, please take me back. But that day, the water was so beautiful and calm. You could see birds or pelicans just sitting there. It was a beautiful day.
When I first seen this video, you guys, I thought that boat behind this boat right here was part of them. I thought, it was like a team that both responded or something. I had no clue that was Dylan Johnson on that boat.
Yeah, me neither at the time. Me neither.
of course, y'all see that boat in this video, right? Right here.
That's them. And
Dylan
so
Johnson is on that boat, y'all, just so y'all know.
So that's Jake right there in the middle, okay? So they came straight from the land, which you see the clouds in the background. They came straight forward towards us. I mean, I shared my location with him. I could see them coming straight from the land. All right. So then I look behind me and I see this other boat. At the time, I had no idea who was on that boat, but now I know.
Yeah. Now, do you want to share your screen to play those other videos?
I don't know how to do that.
Well, if you go down to the button where it says present,
Okay.
do you have that?
Let me turn it this way so I can see it better. It says mic, cam, chat, more.
No, you won't be. If you're on your phone, you won't be able to share.
Yeah, I'm on my iPad.
Let me see if I can. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to see if I can.
Camshaft, I agree. Shay, didn't y'all already pass that spot and was turning around and then seen the waders?
Yeah, so the whole day, let me tell you, I've never been so cold in my entire life. I felt like it was like 20 degrees. I don't know what the temperature was. I know it was maybe 40 something. But my cousin Shane, he had this determination in his eyes that he was not going to turn around. He just needed 5 more minutes. But we had passed. What we did is he said he wanted to mow the grass. So we started from the jetties and we just went to Myrtle Beach and all the way back to North Carolina. And he just did like this. And I looked at my aunt and I said, I'm freezing. I said, let's tell him we want to go back. And she goes, you tell him. And I said, no, you tell him. And then we both started kind of laughing at each other because we knew we weren't going to tell Shane. Looking at him, he had such determination in his eyes, and he was very dedicated to helping find Tyler, because that's our family. He's my first cousin. That's my mom's brother's son. And so neither me nor my Aunt Ann could say anything. And it wasn't like 5 or 10 minutes later that, I mean, Shane had a good eye. Every time we saw something that day, I knew he saw something because he would immediately slow down the boat, and it was a log or whatever he would see. But that time he saw something, and Marie saw it too. She was standing with him.
Yeah, and I'm going to open those up so we can play those. Christina, yes, that is the same Dylan Johnson.
Yeah, it is. It's him. And
Yes.
Marie told me immediately to go to the back of the boat. She said, go to the back of the boat. Don't, Shay, get back there, because they thought it was Tyler floating upside down in the water, because all they could see was the waders. And they didn't want me to see that.
And when you talk about mowing the grass, that's where you go along the line of the tall grass and then you go down again. And so,
like doing a grid, you know, like.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't see how they could have been missed prior to that. It just makes me feel like somebody put them there.
Me either. And, you know, Shane was so kind. He had to go back to work. He actually let Wings of Hope use his boat while they didn't even have a boat to use.
Oh my gosh.
But like you said, how did Coast Guard, South Carolina DNR, North Carolina, Horry County Fire and Rescue, North Myrtle Beach, how did they miss that? But the family was out there and we found it, but Dylan Johnson happened to be following us around all day. And Josh Johnson was apparently ahead of us, like out closer towards the coast. I mean, from what I was told, I don't know, but
that's what it says on his page for that date.
See, and I mean, the way he talked to me, it just doesn't make sense. If it were me and somebody asked me that question, I would have been very respectful.
I'm not sure if everybody here even knows about that. So Shay did ask Josh Johnson one question, and it was, hey, whatever happened to the decoy that you found? And he flipped out on her.
Yeah.
Flipped out. Just the most disrespectful.
Rude. Yeah, very rude. But in the video, you can see the money is saturated. Like the wallet, literally, Marie pulled it out of the Velcro pouch. It was a little pouch right up here on the chest part, and she pulled it out, and that's when I really started boohooing, because we saw that he had his driver's license in there. He had money. The money was soaking wet. I had already called 911. Shared my location with DNR North Carolina. I shared my location with Coast Guard North Carolina. I mean, not North Carolina, but the Coast Guard that I had been sharing my location, I had to share it again so they could see where we found those waders at. And it's hard to tell from the video, but like the one that I've got on my iPad it's in 4K. And it's plain as day. I mean, it was saturated. They were floating on top of the water. Marie thought it was him. She said, Shay, close your eyes and get to the back of the boat, because I would have never.
No.
I would have never been able to see that. And she knew it. So I did. I closed my eyes and I went to the back and I heard her say, it's not him. And I immediately took my sunglasses off the top of my head and I put them back down. I hit the record button and I started recording her pulling them out the water. She said, it's just his waders. But we didn't know until she opened the pouch that it was his waders.
Right.
And there's I got so many more videos. I videoed the cops the whole time that they were there with us. And you can hear Jake talking about, not to keep your faith. He said sometimes we get calls about floats out here and it turns out it's a unicorn. But I can say one thing for Jake and the North Carolina DNR, that they have been very, very helpful to my family. There's not been one time that I haven't been able to call them when we were scared that You know, they said somebody was missing on the beach and that they found him. There was a guy waving his arms. I was able to call, and he would always take my call, even if he was on vacation or whatever.
I know.
So I'm very thankful for that. But for South Carolina, things have to change.
Okay, let's look at this one here. See.
At that point, we just knew, you know, he took them off because the latches on the side, they were like this wide. And we were like, you know, he took them off. Because they told us that he drowned because the waders, that when he hit the water, they would have sucked him underneath the water. And so that's what we thought. We believed everything they told us.
Yeah, there's video that has proven that theory wrong.
Yeah. So when we found them, we were like, what they told us wasn't true. And everything they told us after that wasn't true. Oh, it was him. He was stuck to the jetty rocks and it was a tree. I mean, they were going to hook him and then it wasn't him.
And those waders, I mean, they were floating there.
Yeah, they were floating. They were just sitting there floating.
Do y'all find that strange at all?
I
think
do.
It's very strange. I mean,
yeah. Well, that's kind of how I feel about it. I mean,
the Coast Guard found those people. What was it, a month ago, Dutchess? And they were floating on a raft. I don't know how far out. The scuba divers here.
Yeah, there was 4 missing right off the coast of Myrtle Beach, and they found them, I think, 60 miles out in front of Frying Pan Shoals, and they had been out there for quite a few days, and the Coast Guard found them. And I don't think they even had a raft. I think they were just out there in the water.
They ended up having a raft, but it was so small. But I looked at that video, and it was at nighttime when they found him, and I was like, you know, to be sure, after 48 hours during the daylight, all the volunteers, Coast Guard, somebody would have seen those waders in the water. They did a grid pattern just like me and my cousin Shane were doing.
Yeah. So how did that get missed? They're just out there in the middle of nothing, and then
it wasn't out there. That's what I think. I think it was put out there later on.
Because, I mean, I don't know if y'all have ever seen those lights that the Coast Guard uses when they're searching at night, but I mean, it is bright. It lights up everything. They would have seen it.
They would have seen it.
What I can't understand is this person in camo. Like, how do you, Shay, you and I walked all the way to the end of Sunset Beach. And when you go on that last part of Sunset Beach and then you have to walk almost 2 miles one way, I mean, there is nothing out there, guys. I'm talking about nothing. No houses, nothing. So how are you just 2 miles away from any houses at 7 o'clock and it's like 40 degrees and you're wearing camo, and you mean that Tyler's out there screaming for his life? You know, Christian's out there yelling. He's on the phone. Whatever is going down is not going to be something that's happening silently. And if you're one person that's out there by those jetties, walking there, saying you're collecting seashells, then you know that something is going on and something is wrong. Why didn't you go up there to help?
Yeah, I mean, apparently in the report, they said that this person had no idea what was going on.
I don't buy that.
And you've been
I don't buy that either. And I don't understand the whole thing about, what about the other part of the report where it says that they first came and asked the fisherman, and the fisherman said no boat had launched in the past hour he had been there? How does that happen?
Somebody was walking her dog. Nobody took names. Like, they didn't get names of these people. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm going to tell you, it was freezing outside. It was so cold.
Yes, it was freezing.
The water temperature was warmer than the air. Like, it was so cold that day. Who the hell would be out there?
Wait, Tammy Sams just said there's no shells on Sunset. I've never been there. I don't know.
Oh,
Like,
there's lots of shells on Sunset Beach.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
tons.
shells. There's shells out there, and most of the people get them the first thing early in the morning. You
Yeah.
know, as the sun's coming up. A lot of those. In fact, there is a group called the Carolina Seashellers,
There is.
and and there is thousands of people on there. You should go over there and look at all the shells that are found on Sunset Beach. It's pretty
Yeah.
incredible. We even saw some sand dollars.
Yeah, we did. I mean,
We saw.
I've
Mhm.
got so many that I quit taking them off the beach from there.
I mean, there's tons of them, whole ones. They're
I found a
beautiful.
whole, you remember that day I found a whole sand
Mhm.
dollar?
Sure did. So, it just is weird of the timing of saying that that's what you're out there doing.
I know.
And yes, usually people get on the beach before the sun comes up, but early in the morning, not at 7 o'clock in 40-degree weather, when they know that all of the shells have. I mean, because that's not usually when you're going to find the fresh batch of shells that come in overnight. You know, so, and it depends on the tides and stuff like that. I mean, everybody has their little schedule, especially if you're a local. They know when the times to be out there. They have their little schedules of what they do. But this one just doesn't add up to me. I don't know. It just doesn't.
Well, let me put this in perspective for everybody. The last call that Tyler made on his phone bill, whether it was incoming or outgoing, is at 4:54 p.m. Christian Holden didn't call 911 until 4:56 p.m. So the very last time Tyler spoke to anybody was before Christian Holden even called 911, yet Christian Holden was the first one Tyler told his boat was sinking. Make that make sense.
I know. You can't make it make sense.
It doesn't. And I'm sorry, Shay, that this. I know this is. You've got so much going on in your life,
It's
and
okay.
you're taking the time to.
What bothers
just-
me is, you know what? Earlier I was reading, some lady posted something on the group, and she said she can't believe that we turned our back on Lakeland. We didn't turn our back on Lakeland.
Don't tell me. Hold on. Amanda's running to the group.
We were there for her and gave her a better life than she had before. She's the one who decided to leave, not we didn't push her away. My family my mom and dad are such good people. And there's nobody in this world that can tell me any different. This lady's like, oh, I don't know anything. I've just been watching from a certain date. And then she's like, I don't understand why the family turned on her. We didn't turn on her.
Turn on her. Wait a second. Let's not forget that your mom let her stay there for how long before they got married? She made them stay in her house because she's old fashioned. And I respect that. Because
On her
Lakeland said it
couch.
was so bad at home, but yet that's where she just took the baby back to that home. But yet
Yeah,
she
she said-
stayed with this Miss Linda. See, that just makes me mad.
Because she felt safer there. She said her daddy was stealing her own money. Her dad was stealing from her grandmother. You know, I want this person to understand that nobody turned her away. My mom has been so good to her. I was so good to her. We loved her. And you just got to understand that when you're dealing with a person that, I'm going to be honest with you, if you want to hear the truth, I mean, something's wrong with her. I mean, it's not that she's young. I mean, and I feel sorry for the kids that she's taking care of at that school. Because I've seen her, the way she acts and the things that she has done to me. I mean, I would have to go pick her up from work because she passed out and take her to the hospital. And there was nothing wrong with her. And I really do believe, because I asked her not to call Tyler at work constantly because he was trying to work. He worked for us, that she was going to try to take that out on me. But regardless, I let that go and I loved her.
She was begging Tyler to move, and I can prove it. She was sending him house listings through Facebook Messenger over and over and over, and he made it clear he was not moving from that property. And I'm talking, when I'm not talking 2 or 3, I'm talking like 15 to 20 of places for rent. She's constantly sending him. She did everything she could trying to get Tyler to pull away from that family. So all of that mess about they turned their back is straight up bullshit. I'm sorry, Dutchess, but that's just what it is.
Right.
You got to call it like you see it. This has gone on long enough. I mean, and to see that text message tonight that I put up earlier, well, it lets me know what we're really dealing with here. Because apparently she didn't think it was that important. And it really upsets me. And I know that has to just...
Oh yeah, and we've already proved the video thing. Her saying that she left because Miss Linda was putting a curfew on her and she had to be in by 7. Anybody want to see proof of that? Just hit me up and I can show it, because that girl didn't come in that house most of the time before 12 o'clock at night, and half that time she didn't have that baby with her. So if we're going to be honest, let's be honest about that.
Yeah, all lies. Nothing but lies. And we don't have Tyler. You know, they have their daughter. They have their granddaughter. We don't have Tyler. People
Hey, Miranda. I'm glad to see you. Another duck hunter, Brennan Hawkins. I don't know about him. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, that could be an identical case.
Because I know about the guy Mike in Florida. So this must be a whole nother case. You mean there's another case, Miranda? Because that guy's name was Mike, I believe. That was the missing duck hunter in Florida. So this sounds like it's a whole nother case. I know. We've talked about the importance of just that and other things.
You know what? I have been criticized and I have been cussed out and talked bad about, all because I love my nephew.
Wait, I'm confused. Who did Dylan dump? Am I lost, Donna?
Oh, you didn't know about that, Dutchess? I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, please. I told you I've been absent.
I know. I'm so sorry. So apparently, Lake told, I've had several, I mean, I can't even count how many off the top of my head, of different people that Lake approached and told that Dylan was sleeping with another girl, so they broke up.
What?
You didn't know about that either, Shay? Yeah. That's
oh my gosh.
Yeah. Now, rumors are rumors, but I mean, you never know. But yeah, that's been said several times over the past week.
I had no idea. Oh my goodness.
I just don't harp on that. I mean, like, I'll mention or whatever, but there's no way to really prove that. But I mean, it makes sense.
Yes, Mike Williams, Donna. That's his name in Florida. I'm going to have to look at this other case.
Yeah, for her adultery. Cheating on her missing husband, but she thinks she can keep everything that he has. That's not how it works.
It ain't going to be how it works, because you already know I got the messages, and I'm going to tell, I think I mentioned this last time, but there's several messages where Tyler has said, hey, Nana, I dropped off the money at the shop, or hey, Nana, do you want me to go get this to Papa, about that truck and about rent?
Right. You don't get to cheat on your husband. He's missing. So you're committing adultery, and if there was a divorce involved, you get nothing. You don't get to walk away with his stuff. You don't get to bring your boyfriend to my mom and dad's property and their home that they own, that you were living in for free. I mean, we turned our back on her. She walked out and had her boyfriend with a big trailer come take everything that Tyler ever had, and was trying to take my dad's stuff too.
That's right. They have one, Lynn.
Along with her brother making threats with 911 that it ain't an emergency, but it could become one.
and telling my mom,
We'll
a
take the effing appliances.
65-year-old woman, that he would take the appliances if he wanted to. Well, I wish that little, I'm just going to let the little bastard come back up there and try to take another thing is all I can tell him. They are nothing but trash. People who do stuff like that to people who have done so much for them goes to show you they're either mentally ill or they're just sick, nothing but trash people.
I don't know. I just know that everything this girl has touched has turned to shit. I'm sorry, but it has. Let's go back to the previous boyfriend. Didn't he kill his best friend?
Yep. And that was her boyfriend.
They were
He
engaged.
shot that poor kid in the face.
With a 12-gauge shotgun.
Yep.
Hey, Aiden, thanks for being here.
Hey, Aiden, buddy. Thank you for coming from Georgia to be there with us for Tyler's birthday.
And that's another one that I'm going to tell y'all right now. He's a real friend to Tyler.
Yes,
Yes.
he is.
Tyler loves him dearly.
Yes.
He always has.
His tattoo is amazing, guys. It really is. Aiden, I'm just curious. You didn't have any idea about any of this stuff going on?
Aiden he wasn't allowed probably to talk to Tyler too much.
No, it don't sound like it from the messages between Tyler and Lakeland.
I think that he was alienated from Aiden because of her.
But Tyler really, really considered Aiden a real true friend.
He did. He surely did. And he loved his family. He loved Aiden's family. He loved Eugene. He loved all of them.
Some Brown says, if a cheating spouse and altercation about it through messages that is proven isn't enough to take a deeper look, then he goes missing. Too much, too soon, too close together to not mean something. I understand how you can feel that way. But the evidence, you've got to have the evidence. And what happened is the DNR didn't investigate into any of this. If there could be any other possibilities other than Tyler actually just had a boating situation and went down.
And they
didn't investigate that.
I've even told AJ, I'm not above saying, hey, you know what? He could have drowned. They might be right.
You have said that many, many times, and I have made that very clear. We have had an in-depth conversation about that.
Shay and I try to be very realistic when we speak with each other about all of the possibilities of things. And
but when you take a back seat and you look at things and I think about if that were my son, I would put Tyler in Christian's position. Okay. If Tyler were standing on those rocks, he would have never stopped trying to look for Christian Holden. His heart wouldn't have let him not come back the next day. His heart would have never not let him show up at the landing to talk to the family, to say that he was so sorry, that he would have done something if he could have. I mean, it just...
He didn't even come speak to y'all at the landing, did he? Other than the time that you tried to ask him? I didn't think so.
That night is the only time I ever got a chance to talk to him, and I was hysterical. And all I remember saying to him is, why are you here and where is my nephew at? And that's after we watched Cito go by with Tyler's boat. And I grabbed Brian by the hand and, because he was so upset, it was all I could do to keep him under control. That's his son. And I remember I was like, after I saw the boat go by and it was Tyler's boat they were dragging and not him, because we just knew it was going to be him. We knew that they were going to bring him back to us, and it wasn't him. And so I just said, you know what? This is bullshit. And I took off running up that ramp, and I went straight to that car he was in. I don't even know who was in that car with him. And I looked at him, and I said, I want to know why the hell you are here, and where is my nephew at? Because I didn't know who he was. I didn't know this kid. And he
Right.
was just as calm as he could be. I'll tell you, just like I told everybody else.
Who, you know what? That infuriates me every time I hear it. Who responds to somebody? I'll tell you like I told everybody else. Who says that?
I know. I would have been saying, I am so sorry. This is exactly what happened. I mean, the DNR had to take him off to a different landing days later to get him to reenact what happened. Because he was scared of us. Like, nobody was going to hurt him. We wanted to just talk to him and know what happened. That was it. To this day, I wouldn't want to hurt that kid. I don't want to do anything to hurt him. I just want to know, what really happened. And if it takes 15 years, like in that show that we had to watch, the one that, the duck
With
hunter
yeah,
situation,
with Mike
it takes
Williams.
15 years. I will wait that long to get answers because you
I
cannot
know
tell
that's
me
right.
that he just vanished off the face of the earth. I have done a lot of research. I mean, people that drown, they don't just lay on the bottom, they float up. The gases in their stomach bring them up. I mean, I've even researched that you would have to cut their guts open and then throw them in the water to keep them from floating up. So where's Tyler at?
Yeah.
How can you say you lost sight of him when I've been out there 15 times and I didn't lose sight of anything on the other side of that jetty?
I know. I know.
Nicole Sasser, Michelle is only in it to piss off Miss Linda. I'm sorry, but that's how I see it. That's how I feel. Her whole thing is a revenge to Miss Linda, which shouldn't exist because all Miss Linda did was do what she didn't.
Take care of her children.
She should
Take
care.
care of her children.
She should
Absolutely.
care. I hope that somebody will send that to Michelle
And you
and
know
let her
what?
know what's really going on because she needs to know the truth.
Even
So
after Tyler was grown and raised, you know who got Reed up every morning and made sure he went to school? My mom and dad. He lived with my mom and dad too. What kind of mom just gives up her kids? Let me tell you something. You'd have to kill me to take away my children.
She didn't give them up. The lady had to be taken to court and forced, literally court ordered, to keep insurance on the children because it took a payment from her paycheck. Let's be honest. Who does that? I'm all for being trying to get on your feet. I'm all for if you need help. But she literally went through nursing school, became a nurse, and then still had to be forced
To do
to
something
keep
for them.
something simple as medical insurance on her children. So
Right.
no, she don't get Mother of the Year from me. Sorry.
Mm-mm. You'd have to kill me to take my children away from me.
I
Is
know
all
that's
I can tell
right.
you.
I got to let the dog out. Y'all continue this conversation. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
There's no realness about that. And all of that about I guess the statement not too long ago about Miss Linda storming up into her house. Well, if I found your baby outside in a diaper, I'd be storming up in your house too. So let's be honest about why she stormed up in that house.
Right. And then you prop your
There's a
baby
major
bottle up
highway
and
right
feed
there.
her. You feed your kid while you're driving down the highway and you admit to it.
Ridiculous.
What the hell? I mean, I feel so sorry for Paisley. Like, I pray to God that something is going to change, that baby will find out if it's Tyler's child. Even if it's not Tyler's baby, that poor little baby, I feel so sorry for her. She's being screamed at. Her mother is so worried about getting to another event she's got to go to that she leaves her in the car and she props her bottle up and drives down the highway feeding her. She admitted that to my mom. Like, who does that to an infant?
Well, let's not forget the Life 360 up in July. The images that I have show her going down the PD Road at 5:30 in the morning. So then my question is, and I'm talking almost every day that week. And Shay, I showed you that.
Yeah.
We all know who lives down there. So my question is, did she have the baby with her? Is she dragging the baby out at 5:30 in the morning? Or is she leaving the baby? Like, your baby is your baby.
Right.
When you decide to take that route and have a child, that baby comes first. Your love, like all that, oh, I'm still young and I need to be in love. No, little girl.
That's right.
The only love you need to be worried about is the love you're giving to that child.
That's exactly right. When me and Chad had Connor, we had no other life except for Connor. He was our life. And we were young.
And that's how it should be.
I was 22 and Chad was 25. And we had no friends. We had no life, but our baby was our life. And that's all we cared about.
Yeah. That's how you have to do it. I mean, I was married and had a kid. I mean, I was putting myself through school, working third shift, and spending every moment that I could with my family so that I could give him a better life. And he was my world. I didn't have time to go out and do all this other stuff. I mean,
We
because
had
you
just
have to.
gotten stationed in Washington, Dutchess, and my husband went out on a 6-month Westpac. He got to come home for 3 days right after, and I'd already had the baby. And then he had to go back. Like, I didn't know anybody. I wasn't trying to meet anybody. My baby that's your baby. That's like, your world becomes that child.
That's right. But you know what? Some people are just not meant to be mothers. And
Well, you would think of all the mess that she claims to have went through, you would think that she would want better for her child.
I know. As she told me, her mom dumped her and her brother off at her grandparents, and then she never came back and got them. And that's why they had to live with their grandparents and their dad, who was on drugs, which I'm not going to judge him at all because Kyle's always been nice to me, but I'm just telling you what she told me, which, I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but she did say that her mom was not a good mom to her. And you would think that she would want to do better. But you know what? It's her life. She can live her life however she wants. Nobody tried to stop her that day. She left on her own. And we didn't do anything to her. We were good to her.
Yep. She left because she knew she couldn't sneak Dylan over there.
Yeah.
A lot of people told me that, Camshaft. And when that was the first time I ever met Lakeland actually and got to speak to her, and she wouldn't look me in the face.
Yeah.
Remember me telling you that, Shay?
Yeah, she looked mad all the time. Like she wouldn't talk to you. She, even in the videos at the vigil, she's like, looked so, like she was just so angry. I don't know why, but.
Except for when she was standing over there with all the guys and laughing.
Yeah, which thank God I got those glasses for Key West. For me and the kids went to Florida to go fishing, and I was like, I don't want to hold the fishing pole and my phone at the same time and not catch something, and just so happened to come across these glasses, and they came in handy for whenever this happened, unfortunately.
Aiden, I've seen it, not seen it with but I can tell you now, I've read the messages, the way he takes up for his brother, his friends. I've read where he went against friends for a kid he barely knew because the kid was in the right and the friends were in the wrong. I know the type of love.
Yeah.
I know the type of love he had.
Amen.
Him spending time with your little brothers, letting them wash his truck, baking
I've
cookies.
seen that video too.
Yeah.
Baking cookies.
With the baby.
Tyler would have did anything for anybody, and he stood up for what was right, not who he was closest to. It was about what was right. And let me tell y'all all something. There's a video where 2 other kids get into it. They're both Tyler's friends. And when the way that the people around Tyler respected him, all Tyler did was in a low tone, even voice say, okay, he's had enough. And that kid instantly stopped. That was the respect that them people had for Tyler. You don't get respect like that unless that person is somebody and it's somebody good.
Yep.
Wow, Beulah. Wow.
And the lady before that, she said something really good. That the baby's innocent in all of this, She can't. She's just an innocent little baby who we were so excited to be able to have in our lives. And, it is what it is. I mean, we can't do anything else to fix what's happened at this point. And people can't expect us to just embrace her running off with a man and us finding out, that she's talking to another man on February 2nd. That's hard for us to swallow.
February 1st.
First, yeah. It's very hard for our family to swallow that.
Well, it does make me really question, though, if she just started talking to him. He's out there on this boat, following y'all around looking for the waiters, okay? And then, of course, from what I understand, he was told to go out there by Lakeland, is what I was told. That's how he got
That's
involved with
exactly
this.
what I was told.
And so that was really strange to me because I'm like, well, obviously she was talking to him before February the 2nd, before the prayer vigil. Like she was, speaking to him if that was the case. And to look back at this message on January the 17th, she's cheating with somebody all because he's going to go to this gender reveal of for Aiden and his wife. And his ex Kelsey, who's Aiden's sister, is going to be there, and
Kelsey
it
is
just
Aiden's
really
sister?
makes me upset because who is that person that she cheated with?
Yeah, because here's my thing with that. If you read that message, this is the part that got me. If you read that message, he said you meant what you said. People get mad and they say stuff. So did she find out he was going to go to this thing and then blurt it out? Because, how long had they been planning the gender reveal, Shay? Do you know?
Well,
I think
Aiden
you
can
can
tell
ask
us he's in
Aiden
here.
I believe it was early. What was it? Early January, Aiden?
Then nope, I'm going to tell y'all now she was already cheating. I'm going to let it out now. She was already cheating. Because this is not the first time. Y'all got to remember, he had already called her one time and told her to get her shit and get out when he called her with cold done. So, this is the second time. So once a cheater, do the math.
And y'all, let me just brief y'all in case y'all missed it. There was another message, I believe, that this has happened before. This situation has happened previously, before Lakeland and Tyler were married. There were other messages, which I do believe was about June of 2021. Is that correct, Shay?
Yep.
Okay. And I guess this was indicating at this time that once she had moved in to Miss Linda's house, because her and Tyler were in a relationship, she couldn't stay at her Mims. She needed a place to stay. Miss Linda said she could stay on the couch. Apparently, they hadn't been together very long, Shay, correct?
Right.
And I guess he caught her cheating then. And did she move out from your mom's house?
She did. Yeah. I don't know where she went, but I think somebody said she might have went to stay with Riley Truitt or so. I don't know, but yeah, she moved.
Then obviously they got back together.
Yeah, because he was devastated,
Which
it bothered
also,
him.
Yeah, which also, Shay, can you confirm if that was about the time that the argument happened and he wouldn't tell you what it was about?
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle, Michael.
Because
it was the 17th and the calls on your bill are the 17th.
He wouldn't tell me what that argument was about.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's my point.
Yeah.
Because if you really think about it, you guys, I think in retrospect, he kind of knew, if he really told, that's going to change their outlook on Lakeland because it's already happened before. And that's not what he wanted to do.
He was a peacekeeper, let me tell you. He wanted everybody to get along. It bothered him so bad that his mom, my mom, both sides of the family just could not come together, and just he felt like he had to pick sides all the time. He was always, And I'll go back to whenever they were little and they would come to my house, and the difference in personalities with him and Reed, they were so tiny, and they would walk in and Reed would say, Nene, we are starving. We want something to eat. And Tyler would say, Reed, don't, that's rude. You don't do that. You're supposed to be invited to have food. And I was like, that would break my heart. But he was that type. He was just born that way. Like, he wanted everybody to get along. He always wanted us to all be one big happy family. I'm sure it just tore his whole world apart whenever his mom and dad separated, and then all this stuff happened.
I know you're right about that, Elizabeth.
No worries, Michelle. I appreciate you joining us. This has been a very interesting conversation, Michelle. Michelle was a little bit late, so she missed a lot of the the mic drop moments that we had in this live tonight. Wow. I mean, and for anybody that missed it, you know, what we're talking about, if you came in late, is a text message that was recovered from a download of Tyler's Facebook. That was, I guess it archived, AJ?
It was in his Facebook, but I had to download the whole Facebook profile, and it comes to you in a zip file, but then it opens up, it's an HTML file, so it opens up into the browser.
But you're right, AJ. He would have not wanted her name or her image to be tarnished in our eyes, because he knew he could fix things. He was a fixer.
Yep.
I can tell that about him. Just a couple of quick notes from some people that have sent me a few messages, you know, about some of these things. And I just find it really interesting that people think that TJ Brown has something to do with this camo sheller that was out there on the jetty. I just continue to think that that is a very interesting observation, that they have linked these two with possibly knowing each other or being each other. I don't know how that would even work. And also, my very good friend Carrie says, I'm just saying the gender reveal wasn't the reason she cheated. It was her excuse, and she got caught.
That's what I believe. Absolutely.
And I agree with that, and which is why I wanted to give Carrie a little shout out. Carrie is my very good friend who's going to be helping to make these T-shirts for Shay.
Thank you, Carrie.
So we really appreciate you, Carrie. I'm going to call you tomorrow so we can sit down and work out all the details to that. But I just thought that was a very important point to make. So, and I think all things need to be considered, and that's why we're here to talk about these things, because it's very important to consider what has happened. I mean, in the beginning, if you would have told me that this is how this case was going to unfold, I would have just said, well, first of all, I would have said no way, because he's going to be found, because I always want to believe the best, because a lot of times these people are found immediately. They're recovered, and that is not what has happened, guys, at all. And, you know, this text message, I want to just repeat this for anybody who missed it. You know, I don't know if Michelle was able to catch this part, but I did share this screenshot earlier, but it is a archived message that AJ was able to access, and it is a message between Tyler and Lakeland, and this occurred on January the 17th of 2023, where Tyler says, "You don't know how to tell the truth. You're telling me the only reason you started talking to him is because I wanted to go to the gender reveal? You think I'm stupid? Who cares who is going to be there? You go cheat, because I'm going to a place where my ex will be. I told you to come with me. Do you think that sounds right?" You worried about me cheating with Kelsey, so you go cheat. Get out. Get your stuff and get out. Don't be there when I get there. And that was at 6:09 p.m. And then Lakeland unsent a message. But right before that, Tyler sent a message that said, I don't care. You meant what you said. But I already knew. I just want you to get your shit and leave. Go stay with him. I have all the proof, Lake. You can take the car, but I want you to get out. If you're not going to tell me how long you've been talking to him, then leave. And then, of course, in response, Lakeland sends a message that she retracts. And then that's when he says, you don't know how to tell the truth. So apparently, whatever she retracted, whatever she told him, he said it was a lie. And she was trying to get out of it. And he said he has the proof. And that is why, and see, Shay tried to, she tried to understand what was going on, but Tyler would not tell her what the argument was about. She did not understand why he wanted Lakeland to get out of the house. She was pregnant with his child. They are married. They had been married for 1 year, just the month before that. But you know
I'm
what?
sorry, that just made it sound way even worse. So she's done been caught cheating, and they only been married for 1 year, and she's done been caught. This makes the second time.
She was caught before
So
they
dumb.
got married, and then he married her, and now she's been caught again. Yeah, I know, Aiden, and I'm so sorry, honey. You are innocent in this, and
You
your
are.
sister, Kelsey, has nothing to do with this, and she's welcome here.
Right.
I just want you to
I'm
know
gonna tell
that,
you right
Aiden.
now, Aiden. Tyler, just from other messages that I just didn't feel the need to be out there, but Tyler wasn't about to let her stop him from going to that. There was no way in hell he was going to miss that.
Nope, he was not. He was not going to miss it, and
which shows how much you meant to Tyler.
Hey, single mom.
Yep.
I agree. Even when caught, they lie. I don't know, camshaft. I mean, it does sound like, can they both be separate of each other? They can, but it makes us have questions. It makes the family have questions. Because when you start acting weird, people are going to ask questions. When you start doing the most, like touching Dylan's hand at the prayer vigil where your husband's missing, and sitting on the back of a truck making googly eyes, and you didn't think people were not going to come and say something to me and
Or the only
Shay
time you go out on
and
the boat
other
is with
people
him.
there. I mean, I didn't even know who this boy was. But then I remembered it was the boy that Miss Linda had to fuss at to get out of the front seat of your car so she could have a discussion with you. But
Yep.
see, I was just connecting all the dots then. And that's
after
what
her
this has
mother,
been,
my mom out.
I know, Michelle. It's been a lot. And he does. Tyler is a forgiving person because he's a lot like his Aunt Shay.
If y'all only knew.
He has such a good heart. I've heard so many wonderful stories about him, and I just
Just like my daddy, he was always for the underdog, and he would take up for anybody being bullied. He couldn't stand to see somebody get picked on.
There is one message where they were messing with his brother, and that boy told him, "I'm giving you a heads up to get your hands up." That is exactly what he said to him. He said,
Well,
"Y'all gonna leave my
Michelle,
brother alone."
rumor has it, according to AJ, the most recent tea speculation alert is that Dylan and her are not together anymore because she is apparently telling people that Dylan cheated. I don't know. I guess we'll have to.
Guess they're both cheating because she's cheating on her husband.
This sounds like a problematic situation altogether.
They want to paint us out to be a stupid family, but you know what? Not very stupid, because I'm the one who got him put into the missing persons report, and until 7 years is up, she will always be cheating on him. So she can't outsmart me. Either you tell us the truth, you come clean, you just be normal about what you want to do with your life, because we're fine with that.
Oh yeah,
But
because I'm not stopping. There's a whole bunch more that's gonna come out.
yeah,
There's a whole bunch more that's gonna come out.
don't think you're going to take my nephew's stuff that you didn't contribute one dime to. My daddy worked, he quit school when he was 16 years old to go to work because he is one of 9 children. And they were so poor. It was either you go to school or you're going to starve. So he quit school and he went and got a job. And he's been working ever since. And he is the one who foot the bill for everything that that child ever had. And she's not going to take it away from our family. And we're going to get it back. And you know what we're going to do with it? It's going to stay right where it belongs, with us.
So Aiden's gender reveal wasn't until after Tyler went missing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
From my
So he
understanding.
had talked about it. He invited Lakeland to go.
Mhm.
All of this happened. He was still saying he was going to go. And then he never got to go.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, and I believe with all my heart, he was not, even over her, he was not gonna miss that for the world.
No, he wasn't. He told me he wasn't.
I just don't understand, how childish can one be? If he invited her to go, I mean, maybe Aiden can answer. Was it like said that she wasn't allowed to be there or anything like that, Aiden?
No.
Because I don't see it being like that.
No, they
Because-
were both invited. She didn't want to be there because of Kelsey. She was so intimidated by Kelsey for some reason. I mean,
No, it's gender reveal summer because that was her reason, because Tyler used to date Aiden's sister, Kelsey.
right.
And
That's the name he
she
said.
didn't want him to go to the gender reveal because Aiden's sister, of course, is going to be at the gender reveal. And he says, hey, I invited you to go. But instead, she, I guess, got in her fifis and decided to take matters into her own, whatever that is, whatever that looks like. And she got busted.
It just seems to me like she was a controlling person.
Oh God, if you own,
I don't know, Michelle. I don't know. I
AJ,
don't.
It was so bad.
Oh.
So bad.
Yeah,
Like,
he knows
really
that it's
sick bad.
gender reveal.
It is.
TV
It was, yeah,
is gender reveal.
reveal. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what it was.
who is Boots on the Ground, Brittany Harmon? I don't know who that is. So I don't know where that is. Is that a YouTube channel? Is that a TikTok thing? I don't watch anybody on TikTok that's covering Tyler Doyle, because I didn't caught people over there trying to edit the 911 calls and be putting secret little whispering stuff in it and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I go straight to the FOIA information to get all of my information. So,
That's what I was talking about last night with that Godfrey guy.
Right.
so I don't know who that is, but if you want to fill us in, well, I'll check it out. I'll see what they're talking about. But cheaters never win, guys.
Never.
So, that's why we're going to continue to fight for answers, because this is unacceptable. And
this is a 23-year-old wonderful.
That was Xander's Boots on the Ground. Is that a Facebook group? No, I haven't heard.
Don't get me started on that one.
No, Lakeland's ex did not go to prison for shooting that guy in the face. In fact,
He got 5 years probation.
Yeah.
Yes. And I just don't see how you can accidentally misfire a shotgun. I don't know how you can accidentally misfire a shotgun. And I mean, he basically blew that boy's face off.
Yeah, he did. They couldn't even have an open casket for that kid.
And I just feel like there's some type of injustice in that.
Hey, what did Aiden say?
Kelsey and Tyler were together 4 or 5 years, and I called Tyler and asked him to put her on the phone, and I asked Lakeland myself if she would go along with Tyler, and I told her my sister had no issue at all.
Yep. Tyler told
Thank
me
you,
all
Aiden.
about that. Tyler told me about that.
Wow.
Yep.
So she was invited to go. She would have seen that nothing odd was happening, and she still. What the hell? Oh,
Yeah, and Kelsey's moved on with her life too. She has a new boyfriend. Like, I mean, Aiden
I mean,
wanted Tyler to be there, and he even asked Lakeland to go. That's the kind of person that you're dealing with.
I'm so confused because I mean, people get married and grow from and past exes all the time.
Exactly. My husband, he's had 10 girlfriends other than me, and I've had to be around them at times. But he's married to me. You know, it's like we were young.
If it's gonna be that way, flash your ring or something. I mean, Jesus, this is ridiculous.
That was the way things are every day with her, though. It wasn't just that. She could get a paper cut and need to go to the hospital. That's the kind of person that you're dealing with. Her principal that she works with hates her. The teacher that she works with in the
Oh, I
classroom
got those
hates
messages
her.
too.
I mean,
Everybody she works with
everybody
has a problem
hates
with her,
her,
and it's because
according
she's
to
white,
her.
she says.
Yeah, the black principal hates her because she's white. The lady she works in the classroom with hates her. She was passing out at work. I would take her to the hospital. There would be nothing wrong with her whatsoever. I mean, it was something every single day with her.
My goodness.
Every day. So it is, honestly, I hate the way things have turned out, but we don't have to deal with her anymore. So
It sounds
And
like
I would be
serious
letting
case of insecurity.
yeah. I mean, and I honestly at times have felt sorry for her because I'm like, what happened to this kid? She was raised by her grandparents, apparently, according to her, and maybe they didn't have enough time. Maybe she needs mental therapy. I don't know, but something's not right. And anybody who, when I saw her yelling at Paisley, get mad. That baby is crying for a reason, and you are going to yell at her? If Tyler was here, she would have never come back in that house again, yelling at his child.
I can't imagine he would be really happy if he knew all the things that had happened right now. That's why we have to work together to be Tyler's voice and to get these answers and to find out exactly, did something happen? If it didn't happen, well, if we have this information, I feel like it should help give the family enough courage to continue forward. And hopefully there'll come a day when y'all will be able to do whatever you need to do in order to get DNA tests done to see that if it's Tyler's baby. Because if it is, there shouldn't be a problem with someone submitting a DNA test to make that proof.
Right. And if what they said happened, I will eat crow. I will. But
Well, let's not act like there's not a reason for you to
there's
think that that's not what happened, Shay.
right.
You have every right to feel the way that you feel. I mean, how many people are watching right now, Dutchess?
Well, right now it looks like we've got about 267 people watching
Okay,
this.
we can't all be wrong. You want to tell me how people, I mean, we've got people in the group from Amsterdam that give their opinion. Everybody can't be wrong.
I would say go ask 1 million people, what would you do to your son if he was on those rocks and the next morning an uncle calls and just wants to know what his perspective was so they can have some insight into where they need to go look at first. And the father says he's not talking to anybody. Go ask 1 million people, do they think that's okay? It's not okay. That is wrong. You're trying to protect him from something. I would
I'm
tell my
telling
son to
y'all.
get his ass up and get on the phone and you talk to this family and you get down to that landing and you help them find whatever they can find. Tell them anything you can tell them. But no, he chose to protect his son and hide him. For what?
And now he's in my group.
Yeah. So call me. I know some stuff about that family. Maybe that's why they don't want to talk to us.
Yeah, they probably don't.
I've got
But
some real
we
inside
can put
stuff.
some court records and police reports out there if we need to. I'll have those ready by Wednesday.
We in the same line of work, buddy. I know some stuff. I'm talking about professional work, not the other shit you do.
That part.
Oh.
Yep, she's right.
So,
Well,
go
Shay,
ahead.
while you're up here, I want to ask you one thing real quick. When we were talking about that with Wings of Hope and the picture that you and Linda and Ann were shown 1 hour before Brad left from all the time that he spent out there searching, is there anything you want to share with people that are watching right now about this picture? What can you tell us about this picture? Can you explain to people that he would not give you this picture?
Yeah.
What would you like to say? Because I would really like Brad to come up here and explain all of this, and I would like for him to turn that picture over to you.
I would love for him to do that too. We were sitting around in a circle, and Brad was about to leave, and I had a lot of faith in Brad, and I think he's a great person. He gave us a lot of hope. He was a joy to be around. He made us feel better whenever we were sad. And then right before he got ready to leave, he told us about the picture, and then he showed it to us. And I wanted the picture after I had a meltdown and I had to go to my car, and because it looked just like Tyler sitting on the bottom of the ocean floor. It looked like he had on a jacket and his pants were still on, and he was leaning up against something, and I just couldn't handle it. And then I also couldn't handle it because Brad was also telling us that he had to leave. And I thought our only chances of finding Tyler, if he was in the ocean, was Brad. But he said he could not share that picture with us because it was a part of police evidence. And I've talked to Brad since then, that might have been months ago, about the same thing that Ronnie Floyd told us whenever I told Ronnie about the picture. And Ronnie said that that was not Tyler, and that picture was not a part of police evidence at all. And he told me that Ronnie was full of shit. And so at this point, you don't know who to believe, because I mean, if that was Tyler and he was sitting so still, like, why couldn't somebody go get him? Like, they got the order from Mr. Jeff. He was the Orange County police officer who was there that day. And he said, my mom looked at him and he said, because, no, everybody else was gone. Michelle wasn't there to give any orders for her son. It was my mother who always took care of him. He came to my mom because the real mother was gone. And she said, I don't care what it takes. I want my baby out of that water. And Mr. Jeff got in his truck and he took off wide open to that other landing at Windjammer. And he gave them the order to go hook whatever they could find if they thought it was Tyler. Well, they couldn't hook nothing. It wasn't Tyler.
Didn't Ronnie Floyd come in and stop them at one point from hooking something? Didn't he show up at right when they were going to?
I believe it was the next day that he actually went out there himself, because whatever they thought they saw that they thought was a human being that the dogs were tracking, if I remember correctly, he said he tied a rope around his waist and he was going to actually dive in and go get it. It was in 7-foot deep water, right? I think Dutchess right there by the jetties on the north side. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. But like I said, they never found anything. Nothing. Not a single thing. Cito found the boat. with the life jackets in it, and the duck. There was one little duck still stuck in the boat. The shotgun cases. We found the waders. There was nothing else found of Tyler. Nothing. And to me, that makes no sense. So if he was that close to the shore, why would he have not washed ashore by now if he was really in that water? I don't understand it. But yeah, Brad made an exit. We cried. I was crying my eyes out because think about this, guys. I don't know a single soul. I've never even watched a Dateline show until I saw that other show that somebody has went through something like this. This is a small town. You know, I'm from Loris, which is a small town. Myrtle Beach is growing. It's big, but I'm still a small town girl. And I never dreamed in a million years I would have to go through something like this. So I had to take it minute by minute. And I didn't know what to do or how to deal with it. So, you know, I hugged Brad goodbye, and I just took his word for what he said. He said that he couldn't give us that picture. He said it was a part of police evidence. And when I confronted him later on, he said, I told him, I said, Ronnie said that that's not true. And he said, he's full of shit.
Okay, well, that is something that I give you my word. Tomorrow and for however more longer it takes, somebody's going to answer to that, because if that's a part of police evidence, then it should have been in that FOIA file. So somebody is going to answer for it.
Yes.
And either Brad's going to give it to us or Ronnie is going to tell us why it's not a part of that file. One way or another, we're going to get answers, because that's not making no sense to me.
And we need answers for phone records. Like, you know, the guy that I told you about who filled in for Ronnie whenever he was out with his kidney stone, he was so kind to me. And I sat on the back of his tailgate of his truck and I cried. And I said, you know, we just need the real phone records. Like, can somebody do that? And he was like, I promise you, we're going to subpoena, we're going to get them. And, you know, he was gone 2 days later and we didn't get anything. And we still haven't to this day. My mom, you saw the video, at my office begging practically for him to do the right thing, and he's never going to do it.
No, don't say never.
Yeah, never say never.
And I'm so sorry that I'm so emotional, but
it's okay.
No
apologizing.
That's a feeling. That's the love you have for Tyler. You can't be sorry for that. No.
We won't. No apologies. That's what this is for, is to give you the opportunity to speak from your heart, because that's what people are here for. They want to, we need them to know how important this is. Listen, guys, when you come here, you're going to get the truth. When I tell you my opinion, I say that it's my opinion. And AJ's just going to tell you whatever she thinks, and we respect it, because AJ's not wrong about a lot. And if she is, she'll always tell you when she's wrong. If I'm wrong about something, I will, if you bring it to my attention, I will immediately correct it. And I will let you know exactly what that information is, because we're not here to circulate misinformation. We're here to find out the truth, because if we're just talking about a bunch of what ifs and had beens and if this and if that, and oh, well, that must mean she's guilty, then, I mean, the court of law doesn't work that way, guys. And that's why if there is any information that you have that may help the Doyle family, please don't hang on to it. Like, turn it over to, and don't give it to the DNR either, because what are they going to do with it? They haven't done a damn thing so far, except for tell the family they need to get over it and go to church. And I'm done with that. I'm here for the truth. And this is where you're going to find the facts about this case. This case is local to me. Shay is my real life friend. And she is like my sister. I talk to her every single day. And I cannot bear to see her like this. But y'all, she is struggling right now. If you have questions, don't reach out and blow Shay up. And don't be sending her crazy messages, threatening her or saying this, that, and the other, because you're going to have to go through me and AJ and Michelle Macklin.
Say that again
Okay?
for the people in the back, because I'm gonna tell y'all something. That's what's not gonna happen. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to say that dumb shit or shoot stuff in the group. I'm really trying to.
You can just cuss. Just say what you got to
so
say, girl.
sorry.
It's
I'm really
okay.
trying. But I
Just
don't
say
know
it.
whose
Just say
idea
it.
that
Just
was
say it.
to start saying about the money thing and all that, and then say what they said. But let me tell y'all something. That's you don't if y'all don't know by now, and I'm not even necessarily proud of it, but there's stuff that I can get access to that most people just in the group just can't. Don't play with me and threaten this woman or come at this woman any crazy way, because if there's a skeleton in your closet, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna make it known to the entire world. So don't do that.
Or
Unless
threaten
you've
you.
lived a golden life, don't do that.
Right, the same one lady was threatening you today, talking about you don't know who
Yeah,
her
but I
family
can handle
is.
me. Like I told her, screw
You
her
don't
and
give a
her family.
damn who her
But
family is. This ain't
yeah,
about her
but I don't
fucking
either.
family.
But if they do that with you, it's gonna be a different ball game. And I'm not trying to like, scare anybody or threaten anybody. Just leave her alone. Don't do that to her. This woman has been through hell and back.
And you know
Yeah,
what? This
don't put
face right
yourself in that
here,
position, because I'll make it bad for you.
this face is the face of my mom, my dad, my brother. Reed, I have to be their face too, because we can't all be on here. My mom and dad couldn't do this. Reed can't handle it. So this is the face of all of us. I'm pretty sure Myrna and Milton are hurting so badly too. So I have to be the one that's going to continue this fight, and I will for as long as I can. That little
And Dutchess,
boy,
thank
I
you.
still see him as a little boy. That's my little baby brother, is how I look at him. And I'm never going to stop, and I thank you both so much for being so supportive. And I mean, I don't know what I couldn't do this. He would have been lost long ago if it wasn't for the two of you helping me, and all the other good supporters that we have helping us fight.
We have so many amazing people here in the
Yeah.
chat tonight, and that are probably just watching and not even chatting right now. We couldn't do this without y'all. I mean, look at you guys lifting Shay up. I mean, every single one of you make this possible because you're in this fight with Shay. We are here. We are united for Tyler. And that's really what this is about. It's about the Doyle family and just trying to find the answers so this family can have some type of closure and they can be able to move forward and memorialize Tyler, knowing that everything that needed to be done was done, that things were handled appropriately, and things that were not handled as they should have been, that those issues were resolved and taken care of, because we don't want this to happen to somebody else in our state, because if it happened to Tyler, it can happen to somebody else.
Yeah.
And Tyler deserves justice, and the Doyle family deserves the
Even
truth.
if
They
that
deserve
justice
justice.
leads, yes. And even if that justice means just finding out what really happened, like Shay said, and she has said it before, even to
That's
me,
right.
she's willing to accept what happened, but you have to be able to show that. You can't just accept what happened when you have so many things that say that it didn't happen that way.
Right.
Prove that it did.
That's right. That's all we want. If this is what happened, then it should be very easy for you to prove that. And that's all this family wants. And that's why AJ and I and all of these wonderful moderators and administrators on these groups, on this channel, on, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you guys are sharing this information out. If it wasn't for the subscribers and the people invested in this case, we wouldn't be able to get this information out, and we wouldn't have all the information that we know today. Listen, it takes an army. It takes an army, Shay, and you know that we love you, and we're gonna keep fighting this fight. You know, I mean, I know you're exhausted, I'm exhausted, but we're gonna keep going. We're gonna lay our heads down, and we're gonna rise up tomorrow, and we're gonna live to fight another day for Tyler.
There's
Tomorrow, I'm
nothing.
gonna go try to hang up some flyers, and we all do what we can from where we are. Some of us aren't able to get out there. I have a lot of my subscribers are older. They may not be able to get out as much because they have health issues, but you know what? They are sharing this stuff all over social media. They are putting it in their groups in their hometowns in the Carolinas. Like, y'all, that matters. It
Speaking of,
matters.
yes, it does. But let me tell everybody, because I'm sure that they're on here listening. I'm going to go off topic real quick just because I have to get off of here real fast.
Okay.
Whoever it is that's sending the messages to Dutchess and is trying to take down the channel, you might not want to do that. You really might not want to do that because that's going to piss me off. That's not in your best interest. And you know who you are. You know the
They're trying to
messages,
take-
you know, that telling her to sit down and all of that. Yeah, you might want to stop because I've already dug up enough on you in about the past half hour. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So I'm gonna leave it at that, but you might want to stop. Leave her alone and don't message her no more.
doing it right now.
Oh, there's just other people on YouTube that
Lord,
have
they just
issue
don't
with
know.
me.
And they better stop. And I'm gonna leave it at that because I'm one of those, I like to show things more than talk about them. So go ahead and keep messing around if you want to. Find out who Donald is and then keep doing that. Like I said, I got the information. So go ahead.
I don't know. One person, I don't even really know who she is, but she
I
thinks
do.
I'm a terrible person, and I don't know. They just made this whole twisted story up about me, but you know, that's how it goes when you're trying to fight the good fight. You know, if you stand up for something you believe in, there's going to be people that are going to stand against you to try to find 5 things that you've done that they don't agree with.
I don't care
And
what they agree with. I just
but
know that if they do
I
it
am who
again,
I
there's an
am.
issue.
I
That's
don't
right.
support people that do terrible things to people. Do I think that means that that there can't be I can't speak for what everybody does. Like, I have my own channel. I do my own thing over here. And if I am a moderator somewhere else on YouTube, if I get thrown a wrench in a channel, um, you know, I can be in chat with other people that I may not have the same opinions with, and I can still be respectful to you and maybe not really care that much for you. Um, you know, I may not see other cases the way that some other people do, and we may have different opinions, but I'm an adult. I can put my differences to the side because it's really not that important to disrupt somebody else's live stream on another channel to impart, you know, my feelings because I know it's going to start something. Because that's not who I am. If I wanna go a place where I want to give my opinion about a certain thing, I go where I can discuss that with other like-minded people. But I don't go inserting myself into other places and yelling and hollering at people or making it all about me. So
So I suggest they stop doing it to you, or I'm gonna make it all about them. That's just how it's gonna be.
Yeah, I would
I
be careful if I were
Leave
you.
her alone.
AJ.
For
Leave.
real.
I'm
See,
I'm
listen,
dead
word
serious.
travels fast apparently because
Y'all better
AJ
leave her
doesn't even
alone.
have a YouTube channel, and
I
apparently
sure
she's
don't.
already
Yep.
heard about it. So,
I've already heard about it and got their backgrounds on them, so they better leave you alone.
see,
You
I
just
don't even
do
have to
not
go
know.
into all of that. I just, you know what I did is
Be
I
careful.
laid my head down last night and I said a prayer for him because I'm the praying kind of person. And listen, I'm not perfect and I don't profess to be perfect and I make mistakes all the time. And, you know, I am quick to apologize. Shay and AJ will tell you that. Like, I'm not the monster people make me out to be. Am not in the back scenes doing nefarious weird stuff. I
No.
have a real life that I'm doing real things in with my sick parents and taking care of my house and my dog and my husband, and you know, I have other things going on, and it just blows
Dutchess,
my mind, the
even
things that people come up with.
your sweet voice, I mean, couldn't even make anybody think that you have any evilness in you. Like, I could never see you in my life, but
She,
it's the
she doesn't,
kindness in your voice.
and that's
It's
why
just so
it
I
gets me
appreciate
mad.
that.
And that's just not what they want to do.
right. You're a
And I
good
just
person.
want to say I appreciate all of my subscribers here tonight. I mean, I feel like you guys know who I am. I mean, I'm not a nefarious person. I'm just trying to pay it forward for the good people that have helped me in my life. You know, I'm not out here to I feel like everybody can work their problems out and just talk about it. I don't ever demand anybody to do anything. I feel like that if people will just talk to each other, like that problems can be resolved. And, you know, we don't ever know what somebody else might be going through. So you shouldn't just judge someone by what other people on the internet tell you about them. And AJ and I learned that
I learned
the
that the hard way.
difficult way.
Yeah, I
But
learned that I had
see,
to apologize. I
listen,
had
and
to.
I have a lot of respect for you, AJ. And that's why I was quick to forgive. I am what I tell you, Shay. I immediately came and I said, this makes me very happy because I don't really have anything against her because I don't even know her. So I
We
give
all
everybody a
had to
chance.
learn.
And
It's
it's
a
just one
new
of those
experience.
things. And
Yeah.
I just want y'all to be kind to each other and just know that I'm here to help this family and I don't want any disrespect to be brought to my channel. If you have an issue with me, you can email me at duchessforthemissing@gmail.com and just air your grievances with me. But
And
like,
even that
don't
email
come
better be
bashing me
respectful.
in a chat because listen, I'm all about working it out and I'm forgiving. And if I've done something, like I'll apologize, but
You are, but
nobody is gonna
I'm
tell
not.
me to sit the fuck down and call me a
Yeah,
bitch and all
that's
of
the
this
words
stuff,
that got me
and you
pissed
don't
off.
even know me, like, it's just weird, like, please don't do that
Yeah,
because,
look at your face, Shay.
Shay had to already explain that to some people because I was getting harassed on Facebook because I'm just helping her. And we're not here to start fights with people,
Right.
y'all. I don't wanna get into it with that. I am almost 50 years old. I do not have the energy for that because that is a distraction. We're here to help this family right here. Shay is like my sister. So if you think she didn't already know what I was going through, like, you know,
I
the
feel
people
like
that are real in my life, they know that I have to deal with all of y'all's crazy out there. Okay. And this one right
And I
here,
can be crazy too, Shay.
she
I
ain't
mean, that's
happy. This one on screen right here, she ain't happy. Michelle, you don't want to mess with her. I promise you.
I'm just so thankful that somehow, some way, God brought the three of us together
Yes.
and we can make some
definitely,
changes.
definitely.
I got two wonderful women to have my back. And I'm so thankful and I'm so proud of both of y'all because I could not do this without you. I love both of you.
We
I
love
mean,
you.
We love you too, Shay. But
thank
y'all
you.
And
better
we're
leave
gonna
Dutchess
keep
alone.
fighting. We're gonna keep fighting this fight together. And the devil is not gonna come against us. They can try everything possible, but we're gonna keep fighting for Tyler. We're gonna keep fighting for you and for
Wait,
Brian
hold
and
on.
Reed
Wait,
and
what is
Linda, Ricky.
What's Michelle saying about meeting who in person? Wait, what? Uh,
Ruh-roh.
Uh-oh.
uh,
Michelle, where are you? And who?
Mr.
Uh-oh, what's up, Dawn?
Michelle, just be careful.
That's right, Dawn.
I
Very
would like
true.
the Daily Mail to pick this up. That would be great if the Daily Mail would pick it up. They covered it at one point, but um and we will move mountains, Molly, if we have to. We're gonna do whatever it takes. I'm not gonna let people try to silence me or try to make me out to be somebody because I watch nobody can tell me where to go on YouTube. You can't tell Shay where to go. You can't tell Monkey Vaughn's mama, if she wants to go to a drama channel on YouTube, if she wants to watch woodworking on YouTube, if she can watch anything she wants to. You know why? Because she's an adult. Shay's an adult. I'm an adult. We are all adults. We all make decisions. The devil will not win. God will always win. I promise you. I promise you. And just like Crystal said, Paul said, wherever I go to do good, evil is always present. And Kayla's got bill money. So that is all you need to know. Thank you all for being here. For this
And Dutchess, thank you for doing this.
impromptu live. You never know what's going to happen over here on Dutchess. We talk about all the things. We talk about the facts, and we also talk about what other people are talking about. So if you want to know what we're going to be talking about on the next live stream, well, they're probably talking about it in the Facebook group. So if you're not in the Facebook group, you might want to get on over there and join on up. Make sure you have an account that's at least 12 months old, because if you have a new account, you might not be able to get in because they might think you're a troll. So if you're not able to get in, it's nothing personal. They have specific guidelines set up for a certain reason. If you are over there, hey to everybody in the group. Thank you all so much for all that you do to support this family. You guys are amazing. Thank you to all the members that are here tonight. I really appreciate you being here to support the Doyle family and to help us continue in this fight for Tyler. AJ, it's always a pleasure. Shay, it is always a pleasure to have you here speaking for the Doyle family and for your nephew, Tyler Doyle. Is there anything you guys want to close out with before we end this? We'll be back on Wednesday at 8 p.m. So
Y'all better leave Dutchess alone.
Lord, you heard it here
Yeah.
first. Don't mess
I'm
with
just
AJ.
letting you know.
I would
All
say
right, I got
that
to
they
get off
better
here. I
listen.
love you guys. Thank you. And Dutchess,
love
thank you
you.
so much for doing this.
You're very
Yes.
welcome, AJ. Have a good night. Have a good
You
night,
too.
Shay.
I love you both so much. Thank
Bye.
you.
We
Good
love
night.
you too. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll catch up with you guys soon.
Okay.
So
Good night.
y'all have a good night, and we'll see each other later.
Okay.
Y'all put some hearts and prayer hands in the chat for Shay and for AJ. I'm so glad that they joined us tonight, and this has been a wonderful stream. We had information that was talked about that I didn't even know about. Sometimes I find out stuff on the fly, y'all. That's just how it goes. Because we're all doing our own things, working, doing our parts to help bring this all together so we can bring it to you. If there's something you want us to talk about and touch on the live stream on Wednesday, if you're in the Facebook group, please mention that over there. If there's something you would like us to talk about on the live stream, maybe if one of the admins or moderators that's in the group is listening over there, maybe you can make a post in the group, maybe where people can come in and leave a comment what they would like to hear AJ and I talk about on the next Tyler Doyle live stream on Wednesday. Because I know there's a lot of people that still have questions, or maybe they wasn't certain about something that we've reviewed on a previous live stream. So if there is something that you want us to talk further about, if you want us to go over the group, the website, any information, listen to phone calls, watch videos, drop me a line and let me know. It really helps. Don't forget to smash that like button, guys. And make sure you share this stream out so more people can find out all of the information about Tyler Doyle's missing case here in Little River, South Carolina, in Horry County. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. I'm going to pull us up an outro video to take us out of here. Try to have an enjoyable week. Stay safe. Be kind. Be forgiving. And help find the missing. Try to get out in your community, hang up flyers, do something, volunteer, help your neighbor. Do something to give back and pay it forward. And I'll catch you guys later. Bye, y'all.